going along with the back of the house. Whatever you do, Jesus Christ, no. Like Clorox is a big no. Hand sani is an even bigger no on your butt. All right. No matter how mucky you have been hiking wise and shitting wise and not having wet wipes wise or whatever the hell, do not under any circumstance put hand sanitizer on your bing.
Welcome to Backpacker Radio, presented by The Trek, brought to you by Topo Athletic. I am your co-host, Zach Badger Davis, and sitting to my right is...
Hi, I'm Juliana Chauncey, a.k.a. Chaunce.
Okay, we got something new before we get to the reminders for today. This is something I've been scheming on for a long time. Honestly, this goes back to the New York road trip.
Yeah.
And the idea has just sat with me for a long time. This is when we have disagreements and like there's a correct answer, like a verifiable answer. I'm thinking we'll make... Like, you want to make a wheel spin out of it?
You're going to put all the wheels saying Zach's correct, and then I have to spin it?
No, so the loser of the bet has to spin the wheel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But to unveil it here today, I thought it would be only fitting for us each to take a spin of the wheel and see how things play out.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Did you add? I haven't actually looked at it. Did you add the ones I texted?
I did none of yours.
None of them.
As the person.
Why'd you bother asking?
I was waiting for a good idea.
I didn't. I put tell a secret. That's a great idea. You wrote say something nice.
Yeah, about the other person. I'll explain the categories as we land on them.
That's better than tell a secret?
I think it'll be harder to do.
You have karaoke on here.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't you explain it?
Okay, well, we'll spin the wheel and we'll see where it lands. We'll learn about the categories as they are landed upon.
Okay.
So I'll go first. I will say you have to spin it kind of hard to get at least one full rotation. And as everyone knows, Price is Right rules, you have to do a full rotation. Drink B.
What's drink B?
I don't want to say the word, but Viking can probably guess.
But
when somebody is the drink B.
Drink bitch. You have to get us all our new drinks.
Yeah.
You know, why don't you want to say that? What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're
This is
right.
very
Drink
strange.
bitch. Drink bitch.
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
John said it, so she broke the.
Can you throw this into the corner?
Yeah, sure.
Just throw it onto the ground over there.
Got it.
No, like throw it. Just on the ground over there.
This is carbonated.
It's carbonated.
Don't throw it.
We're not gonna
gently roll it. Zach, can you go get me my Red Bull, please?
Just chuck this. It's fine. It'll just explode all over your jackets. It'll be good.
Thanks, Zach.
I'm not doing any more
Can you
drink.
put that back?
That's not a... Okay, now I'll throw it. This is bullshit. Now I'm your drink bitch.
I will retrieve a drink one time and one time only.
Wait a minute.
That doesn't sound
But
right.
you needed to get a drink. You had to go make him go get a drink. This is bullshit.
Yeah, by the way, that's the truest sense of the term. Drink bitch. You go fetch the drink when somebody needs a drink. You don't just throw something on the floor like you're a rat.
I get it. Like you're a fucking rat.
I also, now that I'm feeling hesitant about it, but the terms of it was a person is the drink bitch until somebody else rolls drink bitch. So
How many times are we rolling this during
No,
the
what I'm
show?
saying is like until how many ever episodes.
What if it's the guest? You're going to tell a guest that comes in, you're my new drink
Yes.
bitch?
That's how this works.
I envision this between you and I mostly.
Okay.
There's not times where we're calling out the guest on a bet.
Everybody's going to be a good team player here.
Sure.
you know?
We'll figure it out as it goes.
Yeah.
But for the time being,
I'm not gonna be.
I'm the drink bitch unless you roll your drink on the ground. Then you're your own drink bitch.
But that way she made me roll it on the ground. This is bullshit. Trying to make two drink bitches up in this motherfucker.
That's right. Okay, Charles' turn.
My turn. Does it roll both ways or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
This door swings both ways.
Oh!
That means that you get to do it again?
I get to spin again.
Zach, I like this game.
There's only one of those on here.
Have you calculated the odds of the reverse?
No.
1 in 10. Shot, all right.
And as drink bitch, you can get it for yourself.
By the way, you need to make him, while he's there, get you a drink.
Oh, no, I'm going to do it when he's not already doing something.
Fair enough. By the way, is this throughout the show? You're just the drink bitch
According to
throughout the
him,
show?
it's until someone else rolls it. It's like tomorrow, the next day,
Nice.
next week. It's forever. This is Zach now.
Wow. Dead air.
You guys can talk.
No.
We
I like to
can.
watch. I'm a watch-only kind of guy.
I'm gonna eyeball this.
All right, so how about these Topo Athletic shoes?
I like
Have you tried them?
Nope, I have not.
What did you think?
It literally looked. Well, never mind. We're recording, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is already going very poorly for me.
I like when we think.
I feel like every game I ever invent always backfires. Right,
by the way, when it says do a shot, like you should like concoct a shot. Like so, like you pour a little whiskey in there, maybe some of that salty element in with it.
No, because I'm not willing to be on the receiving end of that. I'll throw up if Zach like goes into that fridge.
This game
and
is
pulls
bullshit.
Out some ketchup.
All right.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Oh goodness.
I hope you get reverse.
Like how I went through the tunnel here. Shot! Hey, concoct me a shot.
As the drink be.
Yeah.
This is
Drink,
fun.
bitch. And then I get the drink, bitch. He like just used it, already lost it.
Zach's drunk.
In a very open bookshelf.
I'm not remembering where I think the shot glasses are.
This is the most boy math I've ever seen. Zach's looking in a pen holder for a shot glass.
It does have a bit of a disarray going on over there. Yeah. Pour me up, Gotti. Oh yeah, okay. All right, sure. That's fine. All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers. This went well for me.
And girls.
Can't believe I got the fucking reverse. That sucks.
Yeah.
So we all spin once. How often? What does that go like?
Yeah, if we have a.
This is the inaugural.
If we're just unveiling it, letting people know how it works, why it exists. But if there's a point of disagreement, we'll come back to the wheel.
Okay. The good plug for our YouTube. If you're not watching us and you're listening, you're probably like, what's happening? Watch us on YouTube. Yeah. We're also testing out a new little camera schematic. So if you want to check that out on YouTube, now's the time.
Reminders. Yes, we got a few. We're going to do a live podcast in Austin, Texas, and that is going down on April 17th at Soundspace at Captain Quack's. We've got a super mega awesome secret guest for you guys, someone who's been requested many times.
Hint of the week.
Yeah, what is your hint?
He is flying in.
Yes, not a non-local guest.
Oh, and I guess I just gave 2 hints because
not Jersey.
I gendered him.
You did.
So it's a him.
Double hint.
Congrats, you've got a boy. And he will be flying in.
Yeah.
So 2-for.
You want to take a guess?
Oh, you want me to guess?
Yeah.
I mean, my original thought was it's got to be Jersey. If you don't know who Jersey is, we can talk about him a little bit later when I think one of the questions will reference something that I will hate. Not him, but Jersey is the current president of Gossamer Gear.
CEO.
Yeah. CEO.
Yeah.
He's a fellow ginger.
Fellow ginge.
He is from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And he's the man. He would be a fun, I think, ultimately at some point be a fun guest.
Yeah.
I think we've wanted him on for a while, and he's the one that's dragging us.
He's
through.
out of it. He doesn't want. Yeah. He doesn't care. He's like I'm over this.
He knows he would incriminate himself.
Totally.
Yeah.
Best to operate from the shadows.
He'd be sitting down for a minute, and Zach would be asking for the substitute teacher.
That's right.
Hey.
East African substitute teacher.
Wasn't gonna say that part.
If you guys enjoy this podcast and you want to support us, head on over to patreon.com/backpackerradio. We're doing all of our episodes ad-free through Patreon. We'll do some bonus content, though our bark has been bigger than our bite of late.
I have a question.
No ads.
I have a question. Speaking of ads, I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's Viking. I mean, I know I look like a Tom more than ever right now.
Yeah.
But it's still Viking, you sons of bitches. I had a brilliant idea for you guys to approach a liquor company. Your favorite gin. Gin and gingers. You should have a gin and ginger segment. It'd be amazing.
Do you drink gin?
I mean,
You will have to get paid, okay? All right, I'll find the gin. All right, fuck it.
He sounds like our manager right now.
Yeah. HR/.
You guys want money? Talk to me.
Yeah, but patreon.com/backpackerradio. And lastly but not leastly, if you're taking on a long distance trek this year, 2025, and you want your journey featured on a large, amazing platform, head to the link in the show notes to apply to be a blogger for the trek. Jess is running ship for us, and she's doing an awesome job. She just unveiled a new mentorship program, getting gear discounts, sending mail drops to standout contributors. lots of good stuff. What are you pointing at?
Why don't we turn that damn sign?
Oh, because the lighting's broken.
Oh my
Here,
God!
I'll turn it on as an example. But
Jesus, I was like, this thing's brand spanking new.
yeah.
What happened?
It's got Darth Vader colors.
I just think
The repairing of LED lights would not.
I think
easy.
they would have to be replaced
Completely.
Yeah.
So wait, what's wrong with it?
You'll see.
Just wait. Start giving me like an aneurysm here
There's going to be
shortly.
a seizure
Yeah.
here shortly.
Good. Sorry to interrupt for the 12th time.
Yeah. But yeah, head to the link in the show notes to apply to be a blogger for the trek. And with no further ado, let's jump into today's episode. This is now the second time we've done this. We did about the same thing last year at this time. Q&A episode. We're just looking for excuses to get Viking on the podcast.
This is the last time I'm coming on the show for a long time. Like
Disagree.
maybe 1,
Spin the
2
wheel.
months.
Do we even know what number of apperances this is?
This is like 10, 11, 12.
Gotta be
something
double
like that.
digits for
It's
sure.
Probably,
I wonder if we are
Baker's
double digits.
dozen.
Yeah.
We got to be double digits by now.
Yeah. I'm going to read Rachel's intro because she put a lot of effort into that. Forgot to turn my ringer off. A Q&A with Jabba, a.k.a. Tom, a.k.a. the Real Hiking Viking, except he has now been demoted from Real Hiking Viking to become the real bald Q Ball.
I'm not as bald as I was then, but I haven't shaved since then.
Yeah.
So
That's right. We all raised enough money for charity to try to humble Jabba by shaving off his infamous beard, and unfortunately, he's back yet again to interrupt Trons for 2 hours straight. Sigh.
I love when Rachel's on my team. It doesn't happen often.
Hey Rachel, I'm coming for you. All right, you better watch how we write in these
Please
things.
do not come. That's where you got to play that sound.
I'm gonna come.
Do not come.
I'm gonna come. Wow. Do not disturb. You ever heard of it?
Are we concerned it might be an emergency?
Yeah, you guys keep chatting. I'll go jump out and take this real quickly.
Cool. This is going well. Do you feel like this is going well?
No.
You wanna
Just
spin the
being
wheel?
honest. Sure. Fuck it.
Yeah, spin the wheel.
Yeah. By the way, very easy to make that go around more than once. That was like 4 times, and I barely. Reverse to John's. The reverse is. Yeah. So now you gotta do what? Like a shot of hot sauce?
I think I gotta eat some hot sauce.
You gotta do a shot of hot sauce.
I'm not gonna do a full shot.
You gotta do a thimble full of. Well, no. First of all,
I'll do a dollop.
we got a hot sauce. We reversed.
What happened?
I need
We
hot
spun.
sauce.
We spun. We panicked. We started spinning, and I got reversed to her.
3 seconds. You guys didn't know how to do it.
Woo!
So who
I
lost?
want to talk to
did.
Chance. Chance doesn't want to talk to me. Oh wait, hold on.
Oh,
So-
you know what? I'm
so-
gonna get one of those French fries.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
get
no,
a
no,
trash
no, no, no.
can.
Is this really Scorpion Disco? Is it like hot as shit?
I honestly forget which one is the hottest of those three.
But like,
so.
but like when you say hot sauce here, like what is the measured amount? Come on here, let's be honest.
So-
It's got to be an amount.
It's literally from Hot Ones. That's one of the seasons, I forget.
Yeah.
And I think it was 7, 8, and 9 in the
Yeah.
order.
Okay,
So, like,
but I'm asking
the
about
bomb
the
is
quantity.
I had a little bit on a wing the time we did it, and I cried for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
2 of them are hot. One of them's like, it's going to ruin
You're gonna
your
get
neck.
down in there. I feel like I should have to dollop you.
No, because you're gonna get the crust.
That's
I don't want
right.
the crust.
The crust is totally the
Put it
best
in your
part.
bowl.
Get it in there, Chance. Well, I can feel that.
Oh, I don't want that crust. I don't want that
sorry.
crust.
You have to eat the crust.
Gross.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You crusted yourself.
No, I'm not.
No!
I'm not eating that crusty
Chance,
bit.
and then you got to dip to here. Then I'll give you some. I'll give you
Here,
some.
put some. How
Yeah,
about you
here we
put
go.
some-
Here we
I'm
go.
I'm gonna do a new fry. That
Yeah,
one's
yeah,
gross.
yeah. I'm here. It's all
Put it
right.
right
It's all
there.
right. We're gonna be okay.
Okay, that's it.
You gotta eat all that.
I'm not eating all
You
that.
have to.
I'm not.
This show is bullshit.
I'm eating this much, and that's all I'm willing
Doesn't feel
to
like
do.
a lot. Feels pretty lame.
I didn't put that in the trash can.
Aren't people with orange red hair supposed to be handling
No, it's not a
hot
trash
sauce?
can.
Are you guys like immune to hot sauce? Isn't that how that works?
No.
Gingers are immune to hot sauce.
She does brag all the time about how nothing
You gotta
affects
throw up.
her.
Where are you going? You gotta swallow that.
I'm just throwing this out.
You gotta swallow that. That's right, Sean. Swallow it.
All right, so we know what happens when I leave the room for 12 seconds now.
Sean says to swallow.
Good.
Good.
The wheel spin is a nice time filler here, but okay. People want to know, what's life been like since you shaved the beard? Do you feel different?
I hate it. I do hate it. It's nice to know what it looks
It's
like.
crazy how much darker it is when it's short.
Yeah, I agree.
Because your beard
It gets long and blonde, and it gets a little wispy at the end, so it's
Yeah.
not as full either.
Yeah.
So like I'm recultivating something new, which is nice. But it's nice to see my chin still exist. It's nice to see what my jawline looks like again. But I largely hate it. I do. I really do.
You hate the look?
I hate that my beard is gone.
Yeah.
And I know I've got like a fuller beard than most men do at this juncture.
Sure.
Already, and it's been what, like a month and a half, not even?
December
5, 6 weeks? 6 weeks?
7th?
Was a month and a week.
4th.
Seventh.
6th.
Seventh.
6th.
7th.
6th. 7th. Cool. I got there.
It's not my brother's birthday.
Okay. So how many? It's been like 5 or 6 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
Because what's today? The 14th, 16th.
From a physical standpoint, what are the biggest differences that you notice?
I'm weaker. Just in general, like head to toe. I can't lift up as many things as I used to. I don't know what that question's supposed to mean. Like,
I mean, like, did it strike you as being colder without having that much insulation?
Not even a little bit. Like that did not. I was never concerned about that aspect of it at all. Not even a little. Like I'm just hot anyways. I'm always hot.
Yeah,
I run hot. I'm sweating right now.
Yeah. There's got to be a part of you where it's nice where you can eat, because like I watch you eat wings
the
and
only,
you're constantly pulling back your beard.
I'm like, okay. Or I'm like turning my whole head like sideways and shoving like a spoon or fork of food into my mouth. Sandwiches, especially with like mayonnaise and mustards or sauces, like it's like a real catastrophe at times. I gotta go, like I always say, like once I'm done eating food with people, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go take a bath. All right, like I'm gonna go bathe my face in the bathroom. So that has been a nice little treat. But there's something.
Have I shown you the photo of Viking eating giant ice cream from?
Oh, that was
the
Cascade Locks on the PCT in 2017.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the name of that? It's something Darien. Drive-in.
Well, like diarrhea, drive-in, and then drive out.
So
Jenna flew to Portland. Your wife flew to Portland, rented a car, came to Cascade Locks while we were there. Is that also while PCT days was happening? No, we were just there.
Yeah.
And we went to that drive-through, and they give a free cone. Or is it like, or they just sell a foot tall cone?
It's just, I think it's novelty size ice cream cone.
So I got it. And it just happened to be on like the hottest day of the year in Cascade Locks. It was like maybe 100 degrees on that day. I know we had the AC blasting, and this thing was
East Wind Drive-In.
Okay, East Wind Drive-In. And we had the AC blasting, and I'm in the back seat. And was Ruby there too?
Yeah.
Was she?
Yeah.
So she was in the
R.I.P.
Oh, wow. R.I.P. Rubes. And I mean,
Ruby's a dog.
Ruby's Zach's dog that just was sadly passed on in life. She lived good 14 years?
13.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
She's a teenager. That's an old woman right there.
Yeah.
Times that by 7, old. All right. So I'm sitting there, 100 degrees, sweating in this car. AC's doing jack shit. Foot tall, soft serve twist, and I mean, my beard is just like a runway of melted ice cream down my beard. And there it goes. Yay. We're partying. All right. Put me up another shot. All right. So, and I mean, like, it was like on my stomach. It was down my pants.
Yeah.
The only solution at that point was just keep it off the car.
Yeah.
And
it was a rental.
And was Ruby licking it off me?
Probably.
I hope so.
Ruby and Jenna, I think, were techno.
Oh, yeah,
Jenna was licking it off of it?
Listen, it's Ruby's turn now, Jenna.
You got to share, okay?
Zach's filming in the corner.
Crying. You missed the spot on me.
But no, I mean, honestly, like I always remind, it was hard in the moment because I was very drunk. I was very drunk during this shaving. And let me give people a little context here. Yeah. Like 20 minutes before I was set to arrive, Zach's like, I'm like, do you have like this, that, or this for shaving my face? He's like, oh, I'm gonna bring a straight razor. I'm like, who's shaving it? And I was like, are you shaving my fucking beard? I'm like, you're like, Chance is very excited at the prospect of shaving your beard.
I'd never shaved a beard before.
Yeah, and I was like, this ain't fucking happening. I was like, I'm bringing all of my shaving equipment. Anything that possibly could suffice as like appropriate shaving equipment. You know, I had like a razor here and there and like a trimmer and all these things, and I brought them. But then literally, Zach, like, I guess my assumption is that you caught the drift of my anger, and you're like, I think I needed to invest a little bit more than just what I thought I should do for this, and you went down the street and stopped at a barber shop.
I mean, honestly, that was very serendipitous because
Right.
I didn't seek out the barbershop. I literally was walking to
past
Walgreens to just
Right.
get like some disposable
Yeah,
razors.
yeah. And on a
And
whim.
as I walked past it, I'm like, hey, does someone want to make $50? You guys
And
like,
that was a good $50 spent because he did it for what it's worth. Do you know the guy's name offhand?
Don, maybe?
Guillermo.
Same.
He was the man. He was the man,
Yeah.
and he did use a straight razor for the whole for everything. And I did not have any like razor burn or like razor bumps or like cuts.
You got cut.
I mean, nothing was like egregious to the point
you
where
weren't
it was
exactly sitting still.
that was what he said.
I also
didn't
don't
want to
care.
call him out because he did a good job. But
no, I'm telling you from a like how it felt.
Yeah.
Like none of it hurt later.
Yeah.
Like none of it like like when you shave you get razor burn and like some of it gets like whiteheaded and like all that kind of stuff or like ingrown hairs.
Yeah.
Nothing to that extent happened, and I haven't had a razor touch my face legitimately since like the end of 2012. So.
Okay, I can't find this photo.
We're thinking around with the clippers at first at the front of the stage. Then we move you back a bit and hit you with a straight razor. And you go, fucking straight razor? This was not discussed. I said, that's what it means to shave your beard.
Well, a straight razor, first of all, you have to have experience in utilizing a straight razor. A safety razor, I'd been like, that makes sense. Like, you guys can shave me with a straight razor. You can still get cut with a straight razor, but you might not get your carotid artery like slashed open by a straight razor. Or you would by a straight razor, but not by a safety razor.
You didn't trust me.
Of course not. Fuck no. You've never shaved anyone's face with even a straight razor?
Imagine the downloads we would have gotten if I just on stage.
Imagine the coroner you would have had to call if you nicked my carotid.
Excuse me, I accidentally killed a man.
Yeah, it was for a good cause. $10,000. I hope those people are enjoying their food and water. Jabba's dead.
All right.
Bleeding out in the
we do
corner.
have some more. Obviously, we put a call out for questions. A lot of the questions that we got were beard-centric.
Yeah, no doubt.
How long have you been a Joe Pesci impersonator? That's from Catherine Beck Jewelry.
That's my girlfriend, you bitch. Wow. Joe Pesci, apologist, enthusiast, all the things. First of all, which Joe Pesci? Which Joe Pesci do you think she's talking about?
Probably Home Alone.
More like I had a joke there I'm not gonna say, but what about like maybe more like what's the one where my cousin Vinny?
Sure.
I'll take that one.
Okay.
Thank you, babe.
Will you grow the beard back from Seed Lady 6?
Absolutely.
Are you going straight back to the full length?
I think that's where I'm going. I gotta do content for Mountain Smith with the beard here soon, and like it's not very Viking-esque, so probably shouldn't shave.
Are you
it.
worried that your brand is
No,
damaged?
no, God no.
Did you
no.
lose followers?
Wouldn't know because I don't check and I don't care. If you stop following me at any point in time, first of all, bless your heart, and secondly, don't care.
Eli Fenn suggests that you make a wig out of it.
I saved a patch. It still exists.
Yeah.
It's disgusting looking.
We did derail you giving the story. So we obviously the straight razor debacle. We found a barber to take care of it. But you were pretty hammered. You did 3 shots on stage. I think you came pre-lubed a little bit.
I also chugged a beer on stage before the shots.
Yeah, and we were in the
Or
green
after the
room.
shots.
I think
In
we
the
had a
green
couple
room.
down there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was trying to get sauced.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. Like, it's weird. It was a weird moment. I didn't want to be sober for it.
Yeah. And then one of our friends came and picked you up, and you fell asleep in the car ride home.
Because we were going on our way to the Penn State game, which had already started. Penn State Big Ten championship game, which we lost.
That was the funny part, was that we were like, okay, we've got to get the ball rolling immediately with Jabba. We got to start on time because he has to go to this Penn State game.
Yeah.
And you went to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he woke me up when we got to my house. And then I proceeded to watch the whole first half as a nervous wreck. And then during halftime, I fell asleep face down in front of my door. But to your point, like before I even got there, I'd done an egg NBC.
Yeah. Well, on your own volition.
What's an egg NBC?
We've probably talked about NBC in the past.
A nutty butt come-a-palooza.
Just a lot of gin.
Yeah, it was
Is
5
that
five
when you
ounces
put
of
it
gin.
in the measuring?
Yes.
Yeah.
So 5 ounces of gin, which I did earlier that day.
Did you lose the fantasy thing?
No, I just did it because I was just like, I don't want to be sober today.
Okay.
He's trying to ease his mind going into a beer
100%.
shave.
Well, actually, we could tie that measuring cup gin thing into your ginger sponsorship.
Absolutely.
There you go.
So, here we go.
Absolutely.
Drink responsibly.
Nutty butts.
Yes, drink responsibly.
Or not.
Yeah. What are we done there? Is there any more?
Seed lady, I just answered her. Yes, I'll be growing it back.
Yeah.
Like, it is definitely my intent to have a full beard by like a lengthy. There'll be like a period, an in between period. You know when you're growing your hair out, like you get to this phase where it's not quite long, but it's not
it's awkward
short.
Middle.
There's an awkward middle phase.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near that right now.
No.
Yeah. So there will be an awkward middle phase.
Yeah. You came to a party that we had this past weekend, and for like a good 5 seconds, I thought that you were another one of our friends who has like a normal beard. Yeah. It took me a long time to figure it out.
Shout out to Miles.
Yeah. All right. We've got some oddball questions and some real backpacking questions. I'm going to just mix them in.
Yeah, sure. Spin the wheel.
This is one I don't think we've talked about in a long time, maybe ever.
You can say the word Fortnite.
Fortnite.
I will say, just a quick interjection, my mouth is finally starting to not burn.
Yeah, you took it in stride. That must have been the wrong hot sauce.
If you were watching the YouTube, though, it's like him talking and me sitting here like...
Yeah.
That was the Karma Sauce Scorpion Disco. Fucking hot. Funkin' hot, excuse me.
The top of my mouth hurts. Sorry, continue.
We're going to do a backpacking question. We'll start with Jabba, but I'm curious to get everyone's take on this one. What is in your first aid kit? Because I think the most common thing is when you're going on your first thru hike, at least back in the day when people would outfit at REI, you get one of those like REI first aid kits, which weigh like 2 pounds. It's got 1,000
That is what you start from Springer with.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah, I definitely ditched it.
Someone talked me out of it before I hit the trail, thankfully, but I did.
I started with one of those when I started my winter thru hike southbound. I was like, I'm out there on my own. Like, if I get, actually injured, I have to take care of myself. Like, another hiker's not coming along anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah.
And, like, if it's so bad that I have to get myself out, then, it's...
And that's got, like, gauze.
All of it.
Does it have, like, the medical scissors?
I never opened it.
Yeah, I don't think I
to know what was in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's robust.
Yeah.
A robust medical kit.
Yeah.
Made by Adventure Medical Kits.
Could be like a dead gerbil for all I know.
I mean, those gerbils can get up in there. You're having a blockage. Anyways,
let me wing.
So after like the AT stuff, first couple years of like thru hiking, you kind of whittle that down and you start getting towards the ultralight phases of your life. And ultimately, there was probably like a 3 to 4 year period when I had absolutely nothing from a medical kit standpoint, and I mean nothing. Maybe
Not
like
even like ibuprofen.
I mean, I don't think of that as a part of a medical kit.
Well,
that's,
if you're in
that's vitamins.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Let's include anything that you get at Walgreens. So like ibuprofen.
Sure. Okay. So then past that, I mean, a pocket knife can be helpful with like popping blisters. It got to the point where like, maybe the last few years I started carrying something not robust, but robust from what I had come accustomed to. And that would be like a few Band-Aids that were like the durable waterproof kind, or like, sorry, not the waterproof kinds, those suck. The durable kind that like are stretchy a little bit, thick and stretchy, and a little bit of antibiotic ointment, and then a safety pin or two. And then
for a blister?
Well, safety pin can be for a lot of things, but yeah, blister, but also can hold gear together too in a pinch, right? And then I would even carry like, of course, the whatchamacallit, it's not tenacious tape, it's the stuff, Leukotape, thank you. So I carry Leukotape, and that's for like, to me, you can turn Leukotape into anything. Like, like if you putting a Band-Aid on your skin as a thru hiker, I think it's coming off. Yeah. I would then reinforce it with Leukotape so that you can have something that's like not filled with like glue directly on the cut, right? So you put a Band-Aid over the cut, and then you put the Leukotape over that, and then you're good to go. And that's for blisters as well. But you can turn Leukotape into a tourniquet if you needed to. You basically just like wind it, it's like spin it, and it becomes like rope almost. You can use that for all kinds of things. As far as tourniquets go, if you don't know how to make a tourniquet on your own, you can rip like pieces of clothing to make like a strip of cloth, tie it around, and then you stick a stick in it, and then you twist the stick to tighten that up. Have you ever seen that before?
I don't know if I have.
I mean, you can use a belt, all right? You can You can use a drawstring from your, whatever.
You hike with a belt?
No, but some people definitely wear like utility, like pants that have belt loops.
I censored myself there. a specific form of pleasuring yourself.
Oh, wow. All right. No, there are lots of hikers that wear pants that require belts, and some people will use belts that actually have like, it's made of 550 cord that you can use that 550 cord for like emergency uses as well. Very much bushcrafty. You get a little bushcrafty in some of that stuff. Yeah. All right. So my med kit these days is very minimal, but like enough that I've never in the last couple of years never been like, shit, I don't have this and I'm screwed. In fact, most of the times if I'm ever hiking with anyone else, I'm like, yo, I got Band-Aids for you. I got whatever. So I'm sharing with other people.
Yeah. What about you, Trons?
Not a lot. I've got a Ziploc bag, and in that Ziploc bag, you would find some ibuprofen. You would find some Tums. You would find like a Claritin or a Benadryl, Leukotape, a pair of tweezers, definitely, a little nail clipper, maybe. And then I don't keep it in that bag, but I do have my little pocket knife, my little Benchmade, like an extra hair tie. Why didn't you make Zach get that for you? Put it back. Put that back. Come on.
If I leave again, you guys are going to start spinning the wheel.
That's true. And that's kind of it. Not a whole lot. I'm kind of on the boat with Jabba where I think Leukotape can do a lot of things. So
you can repair gear too.
Right. So that's usually like my go-to is if something's wrong, I just put Leukotape on it.
And for a quick hack, as far as like tweezers go, instead of carrying specific tweezers, you can just have one of those little baby pocket knives from Swiss Army. Yeah. And they got the little tweezers built into them. Mm-hmm. So it's like, here's your knife, here's your scissors, it's all built into that. That's like part of your med kit and like whatever. Yeah. Your cheese knife too, baby.
I use that for my nail clippers as well, the little scissors.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I'll bring a little nail file, just because
there's one on that.
If I break, I know, but I don't have one of those. I don't bring one of those.
You need to get one.
I don't want one.
Sounds like you're an idiot.
If I break a nail, if I do break a nail or they grow weird, I start to bite them. And I think biting your nails on trail is probably some of the grossest nail biting
I
you
deal
can
with legit hangnail situations.
Yeah, well, that's what the tweezers are for. Yeah. Tweezers pick off the little hangnails, and then the file just makes it flat so you don't bite it.
Do you bite them while you're hiking?
No, but I'll just like while falling asleep at night, just
passes out. There's a bunch of nails around her mouth. Shavings.
I have a lot of ticks. I've never been a nail biter though. I don't know if that could be achieved while moving.
No, we're using trekking poles, bro.
As long as they're smooth, I don't bite them. But the second one breaks and there's like an uneven.
Dude, I used to bite my calluses when I was younger.
I can't not think about it.
A weirdo.
Yeah. I think you guys basically hit on mine. Leukotape is a huge one. I use that basically as a Band-Aid. I know what you're saying about not getting glue directly on a cut. I'll just like fold up toilet paper and put that over whatever the cut is.
You gotta be careful with Leukotape because it can hold moisture for like very well too. Yeah. So if it gets wet, like the skin under that Leukotape can get like
really gross.
I actually
like trench.
Just sent this photo to Elise, and this is my foot when I had taken off Leukotape on a rainy stretch.
Oh, it's bad. Yep, there it is.
That's what we're thinking.
That's what we're talking about, baby.
Yeah. So there you go.
So wait, what trail were you hiking when you did this?
This is the AT. This is after a few days.
Yeah, AT is very trench footy.
Of rain.
There it is. Yeah, Leukotape because it won't dry out.
No, and my mindset on Leukotape.
And that glue gets gross too.
I'm not saying this is the right mindset, but it's mine. Is when I put Leukotape on something like a blister or whatever, I know people say, okay, air it out at night, do this, do that. My mindset that has always worked for me, and until it stops working for me, I'm not going to stop doing it, is I put the Leukotape on it, and when the Leukotape falls off on its own natural path, usually whatever underneath it has healed. So
by the way, that's
in
desert territory that can happen. Like what I'm saying, when it's like arid conditions. Like that's when you won't have the issues that you're talking about with your foot.
No, I know, but I won't just do that in desert. Like I'll wear it through a shower.
What I'm telling you is like you'll run into what you're referring to in the majority of other conditions where you have like trenchy type skin underneath. Like that's just gonna happen because Leukotape doesn't come off.
I thought you meant what I was referring to as in when it falls off.
No.
Yeah. No, it does. It does. If you leave it on, it's usually
I've never had Leukotape fall off my body.
It's 10 plus days. Definitely.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well,
You've left it on too long.
Still here.
You've left it on too long.
So are you saying that the Leukotape falls off when the wound has healed as a way of like the wound signaling?
Do not listen to Chance on this.
I'm saying
whatever
that
you do.
By the time the Leukotape falls off, because it takes a long time to fall off, whatever's underneath it has had time to heal. Yeah. So you don't need to check on it every night and fiddle with it and do this and that. Just slap it on, go about your day, live your life, and one day you'll notice, hey, Leukotape's not there anymore. At one point
Chance,
it was. And whatever's under it's better.
Yeah.
So.
Leukotape, Benadryl is a huge one. That's actually come in handy for me.
For you and for other people.
Yeah, Benadryl. Yeah, absolutely. I was stung by a few hornets on the Wonderland Trail and started to swell up real quickly. Benadryl was crucial.
Oh, an inhaler, obviously.
That's a good one.
Trusty inhaler.
A nitrous oxide tank.
Imodium.
No.
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. But I don't always have that on me. I'm at the first sign of trouble, the first town I come to, I'll get a supply of Imodium, and then I take a course of it.
Yeah,
essentially, I'll take 2 a day for 3 days.
I've seen you take it even when it's not
totally
a foodborne thing.
Preemptive strike for sure.
I don't think I've ever had it.
It's helpful for the diarrheals.
Plugs you up.
Plugs you.
Yeah.
I mean,
by
the way, don't use it. Don't overuse it. Don't abuse Imodium. It will plug you up if you take too much and for too long. It will stop you up in a bad way.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's it for the core first aid for me that hasn't been said, I think.
We're probably forgetting one or two. I mean, chapstick, I guess, is one.
Yeah, I was going to say let's round up and just include the more common toiletry items as well.
Baby wipes.
Yep. Baby wipes,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sometimes if the place doesn't have the baby wipes, this is really bad, I'll get
hand sanis.
The packets of the Clorox wipes. They usually will have the mini packets of those if they don't have the baby wipes.
What do you use that on?
Yeah, really clean finishes.
Of your butt? Clorox?
Yeah, I've wiped my ass.
First of all, that's probably terrible for your body.
Yeah, I think it's very clean.
God.
I don't try to do that. That's not a goal. I definitely don't.
She gets it and then doesn't try to do that? What are you talking about?
Well, I like a wet wipe after I've had a little poo.
Just use the aloe ones or something.
They don't have them at everywhere. When I was in Northern Washington, they did not have baby wipes in the store, but they had the Clorox wipes, and I thought,
I think you need to do more
dry
medical
toilet
research
paper or
on a lot of things.
Guys, I'm still here, so
I mean,
it's fine. I've survived.
Yeah,
but between dry TP and that, if we're working with the back of the house, I use that.
You gotta clean the outhouse with Clorox. One other thing would be, hand sanitizer is the thing, and with the hand sanitizer, going along with the back of the house. Whatever you do, Jesus Christ, no. Clorox is a big no. Hand sani is an even bigger no on your butt. All right, especially if you got a little bit of chafe rub, on your bung or otherwise.
I've made that. I don't even know if it was a mistake.
You've put hand sanitizer on your ass?
No, it was. I think similar to what you're describing. The red. Whatever the wipes are.
Yeah.
The ones that have
the wet ones that are red.
Yeah. I've used that specifically just on chafe, not even my asshole, because I knew that chafe leads to bacteria. So I'm like, I'm gonna clear off the bacteria on my chafe. It was so fucking painful.
From just the red ones?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It hurt so bad. I almost screamed it.
No, hand sanitizer's 10 times worse than that.
Yeah.
Truly.
I think I have done that too.
Do not.
Yeah.
No matter how mucky you have been hiking wise and shitting wise and not having wet wipes wise or whatever the hell, do not under any circumstance put hand sanitizer on your bing.
There's someone that's hiking right now while listening to this that has hand sanitizer that's just thinking
gotta try this.
I wonder what it would feel like.
It hurts so bad.
Try it and write in podcast at thetrack.com.
Vagisil is actually good for that because it does have an antibacterial and it's also a lubricant.
Yep. So. People use that for chafe cream, Vagisil, for sure. Yeah. Now we're here. What's your best chafe situation?
I've tried everything. For me, Aquaphor is my go-to. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the lube that lasts the longest. At a certain point, you're not going to get better until you can just like stop hiking and let it air out overnight. So you just want to keep it as frictionless.
The problem with that
possible.
is it's like it's a little greasy.
Yeah, so I've actually stained shorts.
Exactly.
Before. Yeah,
I've seen it. I've seen your stained situations.
Yeah,
I
don't care.
Was it you that had the shirt that had the nipple stains on it from the Aquaphor?
That has happened to me not while hiking. I once did that preemptively when I ran a marathon, as I heard that your nipples get chafed real bad. So I put petroleum jelly on my nipples, and I was wearing the gray like Under Armour shirt, so I had like wet spots.
He's lactating. So here's a little tip that you can get away from that greasy grossness. And it's even to me from what I've used Aquaphor. I've used Baxitracin / triple antibiotic ointment. I've used all kinds of things to try and be lubrication for chafe, because I'm not a thigh gap boy. All right, I can get a thigh gap. So chafage does happen both in the crotch, in the butt crack, on the butthole, like all the places it can happen. There's chamois butter.
Yeah,
it's for cyclists.
I used that on the AT. Did not work for me.
Oh, did not?
It wasn't lubey enough. Like it's
you got to use it. You got to use it liberally.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is you're carrying so much of it.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, to be comfortable while walking, when it's you know how bad that chafage feels.
I do like the smell of it.
Each step that you take with chafage while you're hiking, you're just like, I want it to be over. Because I want this feeling to be over. It's worse than like walking on like a sprained ankle
or blisters.
It's worse than all of it.
Yeah.
Somehow those nerve endings, wherever that chafage occurs, is worse than all of it. Because there's salt and dirt that's just rubbing in there too. I use chamois butter liberally when I get to that point. And it doesn't ruin your clothes. It washes out later.
I'd rather ruin my clothes. I don't care.
Couldn't you just preemptively leukotape the area?
No.
I think I've talked about this. Even when Jabba was on before, one thing that I have done that has worked for me so far, I'm open to it not working, is shaving the area.
Yeah.
Wait, why?
Not razor shave, for the record. I would say I'd recommend if you're gonna do that, do not razor shave it, because that you'll get razor bumps at that point.
Yeah.
Circling back, why is my leukotape the area preemptively a bad idea?
Because it can peel off because it's such a high friction area where you're rubbing. It can like peel off, and then you're just dealing with like muck, and that glue can then become an actual problem from a chafage standpoint.
And then if it's not perfectly aligned, if the leukotape is rubbing against the skin, that's going to cause friction as well.
Yeah.
Got it. Have either of you tried Dirtmonger's mayo trick?
I've not.
First of all, that
smells
disgusting. Just from the idea of the crotch already. Crotch and mayonnaise. Yeah. No thanks.
You're getting the grease stains without the benefit of it actually working.
And none of the good smells of the chamois butter.
Yeah. Toothpaste and toothbrush, obviously.
Yeah. Sometimes like
sunscreen.
A nice piece of floss.
Yep.
If you can find like some in town where you just take a zzz and then you just put it in there. And
I use the I don't know, it's not
picks?
quite as environmentally friendly, but the tooth, it's like a toothpick and a flossing tool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like those because I like to keep one in my the pocket, shoulder strap pocket, and I just pull it out all the time and while I'm eating, while I'm snacking.
Depending on how long I'm out or the season or the location, I almost always have DEET. Just because, if you're in terrible mosquito territory, you need something that'll save you. Just like a small thing.
Although the Sawyer Picaridin works pretty well, maybe not in the absolute worst conditions of mosquitoes. That's what the DEET's for. But yeah.
Hand sanitizer we talked about. I always have toilet paper on me. I know that's not the most common for everyone.
I carry both.
I do.
I carry both.
And I think that's pretty much my list.
People carry, toenail clippers, as we suggest. Sometimes that's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, going back to a weird one. What's your favorite planet? This is from Gaseous Ape.
It's funny. I also have a Instagram handle called Gaseous Clay.
You have an Instagram?
I do. I don't use it ever. It's just like on the off chance that I want to start a farting content account. So I actually am very intrigued by planets and like space and all that kind of stuff. And I've watched all the novas and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I forget offhand. Is it Venus? No, is it Uranus that has it rains diamonds? Which one is it?
Did not know that.
There's a planet in our solar system that rains diamonds.
Really?
Literally.
Google that one.
I'm surprised we're not there. Fuck Mars.
Yeah, which I can't believe I'm drawing a blank.
Diamond rain falls on Saturn and Jupiter.
Saturn and Jupiter.
Wow.
Yeah, the rings, the planets of the rings.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But actually, if you
let's get there. By the way, fuck Mars.
AI says Uranus and Neptune.
Yeah. See, Uranus.
So.
Yeah. So just not this planet, huh? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Probably hurts.
That would hurt.
So whichever planet it's raining diamonds, I'm in. All right. Jupiter's massive, by the way.
Yeah.
I like
I
the.
heard it.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah.
I heard about that one.
I think I always love the like the perspective, like either diagrams or videos that show like, oh, how big Earth is. Oh, then how big our sun is. Then how big the next biggest planet, and then all the way out to like the biggest like sun or star that exists, and like Earth is a literal speck of dust compared to like the biggest planet or star rather. It's pretty wild.
So which one is your favorite?
I just said whichever one's raining fucking diamonds.
There were 4 options.
I like Uranus. Is that what you wanted to hear? Is that what you wanted, Chance?
Thank you.
You want that soundbite?
Let's go with.
Wait, you guys aren't going to answer these questions?
Oh.
I guess is it just for me? I want to hear what you guys think.
I don't feel strongly enough to give anything there.
Anything but Earth?
Earth's pretty tight. Earth's pretty nice.
Trump's America. Anything but Trump's
cool.
America.
I'll pick Neptune.
All right.
Neptune is cold.
Yeah. I think they all. Well, no, they all.
Well, no, there's Mars or no, not Mars. But which one is it? Like during the day that it's like unbearable heat. It's like the swings.
I think.
I would say Mercury because it's like right next to the sun.
It might be that. It might be Mercury.
Right.
Let's find out.
I think it's the second planet.
Venus.
I think Venus is the hottest planet.
Yeah.
Which
Planet.
doesn't
The
make sense.
second planet.
It's the hottest.
I think it.
Women are from Venus.
That doesn't make
Venus is
sense.
the hottest planet in our solar system. 860 degrees. Hot enough to melt lead. By the by.
All right. We're doing nitty gritty here right now.
Nice.
What I want to go. So we did toiletries, first aid. I'm curious to know about all of your electronics, and that includes like the cords that you're carrying, how you're charging shit in town, like your full electronics Ziploc bag.
So as of like last year, I carried. I fluctuate between carrying like 30,000 milliamp hour and 40,000 milliamp hour.
That's got to be what, pound and a half, 2 pounds?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's irrelevant to me. It is just there. It just exists. You know what it is? It's power I don't got to think about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't even want to like stress the fact that I'm like making videos all day long and shooting pictures and listening to podcasts and charging my AirPods and charging my Apple Watch. Like I've gotten to the point where like I'm carrying AirPods and an Apple Watch. So I got to carry. I switched everything to USB-C. So everything is charged USB-C now, with the exception of at this juncture my headlamp. I think. No, I just got the Nightcore headlamp that's like ultralight. That's also USB-C as well. So everything I have now is USB-C. So I'm good to go from like interchangeable cords. You know.
It's funny that your portable charger might be the single heaviest thing in your pack.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, might be depending on the adventure I'm on. Certainly when I'm on a bike, I'd prefer to carry more juice than anything because, you want to stay going as long as you can. So a cord for my iPhone.
Question again. For the portable charger, are you using one of those that has the dual charging inputs so you can charge it twice as fast?
I have in the past. I don't think that they exist yet to my knowledge for USB-C.
Okay.
But I do. So for what it's worth, I do. Then I carry a I think it's at least a 100 watt charging block so that I can actually charge. I can rapid charge that giant battery bank.
Is that an Anchor?
Yes, it is. Now I know Nightcore has the lightest, like 10,000 milliamp hour charging. It probably makes more sense at this juncture, most likely, to have 4 10,000 milliamp battery packs than one 40,000 milliamp battery pack, because each battery chart has the back half or the back 30% of charging a battery pack takes longer. But the problem is that the more you got to carry more cords to charge extra battery packs. So I just ended up getting another robust battery charger, like the actual block.
Yeah.
It's you could charge. If you want to just charge your iPhone, I think you can charge your iPhone in full in like less than an hour.
And how many inputs are on the charging block?
So it's got 2 USB-Cs and 1 USB.
Okay.
USB-A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I do something that you just mentioned, which is I'll usually like 40,000 as my quantity.
Okay. In one battery pack?
I'll do it in two.
220s.
Because I think it's nice, like if you go to a hostel and
you can charge one while using the other.
Yeah, you can charge one while using the other. But then the other thing that I like using two for is if you have a really cold night, you know how sometimes if they get cold, they forget they have charge and they like say they're not charged when really you know they are.
Actually, I've never had that happen, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've had that happen a bunch. And so for me, I like having the second one.
Are you using night cores or what are you using? Anchors? Okay.
Yeah. So if that ever does happen, then I have the ability to use the other one, and it's not just that whole battery shot.
So when I go 30,000, I use a 20 and a 10. So I'm familiar with at least that from a logistical like ease of use standpoint. But I do have a monster fucking brick 40,000. You can kill a person with this. You can kill a person. Yeah. And I have.
Internet's telling me that a 40,000's 2 pounds.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah.
Because it is. Yeah.
Okay.
But having 2 USB-C outs that put out a lot of juice means like when I'm asleep at night, I don't want to just leave my shit plugged in overnight because it gets less efficient. I feel like leaving it plugged in or like the battery gets cold or the devices get cold, yada yada whatever. So I like having my shit done before I go to bed. Yep. So having high output from the battery pack is beneficial, and being able to do more than one at a time. So I like to make sure I charge my watch before I go to sleep and charge my phone before I go to sleep, and then sleep with them both in the warm.
I do that as well. I'll plug things in while
I do charge overnight. I'm probably wasting juice.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I don't want to also like have it like fail in the middle of the night and then wake up in the morning and like not have it all be charged up. So
especially
as soon as I get to camp, I plug shit in, and before I go to bed, I tear everything down and it's good to go.
Well, the other thing too is if it's cold, you want to sleep with your battery in your sleeping bag.
And I don't want all these cords attached.
And you roll over, then you're all of a sudden hooked.
Exactly.
I do the same thing. So when I go in my tent at night, I'll usually like go through and edit photos from the day or edit videos from the day, and I'll have it plugged in through that. I'll put on an audiobook for a little bit to fall asleep. And then once I know I'm going to be falling asleep, I'll unplug it. I'll stuff it at the foot of, whatever bag or quilt I'm wearing.
You edit photos now? Like are people still editing photos like on the regs? Like I'm saying like on their phone. Like are you editing photos often?
When I'm hiking.
I got bored. I got tired of doing it. Let's put it that way.
I'm not like doing incredible edits,
sure. That's fine. Yeah. I got over it. Because we post so many at a time now. Yeah. I get tired of doing it for each individual.
But I like going back and looking at them. Like I think that's nice to be able to see stuff.
All right.
So I'll do that, but before I go to sleep, I'll unplug it. I'll stuff it at the bottom of the quilt, and then when I wake up in the morning, there's usually about 30 minutes between me waking up and me leaving my tent.
You'll just top things off a little bit.
So then I'll top things off for the day.
Okay, so full list: AirPods, Apple Watch, your 40,000 Anchor, whether that's 1 or 2 devices.
A cord for everything, by the way.
A cord for everything. Your phone.
My headlamp. I feel like there might be something we're forgetting. I don't know why I think that, but there might be.
Do you have an idea what the weight of your charging block is?
Oh God, I mean, it's could be like half a pound. I mean, it's robust. It's like for a laptop.
Yeah.
It's for like a MacBook. Now it's not like that big, but it is like it's like. I mean. You see that like white block right down there, Zach?
Yeah.
If you were to shrink that just by like an eighth of an inch in terms of like area space up top, and then triple it maybe outward, like upward.
So are you carrying
double it.
Like a freezer gallon bag?
Yeah, I have Ziplocs for all my. I have 1 quart size Ziploc for everything that's not my battery pack, and then I typically have my battery pack in its own Ziploc that's like tailor-made for it, but it's a more robust. It's like a Ziploc that I got from like you don't buy at the store. It's like something that came packaging-wise from something I got. Like I reuse plastic bags a lot. Like anything that comes in the mail that I ordered or whatever. Like there's all kinds of random plastic bag containers that shit comes in, and I save those. And I've been saving plastic bags for like a decade, essentially. Anything that doesn't have a hole in it or like the Ziploc hasn't, the Ziploc itself hasn't failed, I still have.
I also carry my camera, my little DJI.
Yeah.
I would say...
I forgot. Sometimes I carry a camera, and then I have extra shit for that, too.
Are you still using your mirrorless?
I did last year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any sort of sat-nav would count as electronics.
Sure.
One tip I'll give, because I mentioned in my first aid kit that I'll sometimes bring an extra hair tie. This is more of a girl thing, but if your hair tie breaks...
I used to carry extra hair ties.
Well, yeah, and
Used to.
long-haired boy thing.
Yeah.
I carry an extra hair tie because if my hair tie breaks, like there's... Imagine being in the middle of a resupply stretch and your hair is in a ponytail, because that just makes sense, and your only hair tie breaks.
Or it's just like way too loose.
Yeah, or like it breaks and you retie
looser.
it, and then it's so tight you can't get the...
You retie it so many times you just can't even use it anymore.
Right, so if you bring a spare hair tie, I will do all my cords, like I'll loop them all up nicely, and then I'll put the hair tie around them, and it just keeps them just nice tucked cords.
I have utilized various little things to keep the cords that I'm not frequently using, at least on trail, like tied up so they're not like loose and annoying.
I won't even take them out. Like I'll have all the
so then you just
all the
plug them
one
like
ends
that.
one side, all the one ends that side.
Well, then you might want to look into buying a shorter cord, because you could save money.
But sometimes you don't want to, because let's say I'm in a hostel and I'm sleeping in a bunk, and like from where the outlet is to the bed, I want to have my phone.
So you're just
there.
saying when you're out on the trail, you like to keep them short.
I like to
Got
keep
it.
them condensed.
Okay, fair.
I like this question. This is from Samantha_S183. So close to 182.
What's 182?
Yeah.
Blink.
Right.
Don't waste your time on me. If you had to have an inside/desk job, what would it be?
Well, there's been talks with Mountainsmith and I about like possibly taking on like marketing type, as they've been calling it. We need you to return to the farm. We'd like you to return to the farm. But
let's remove sponsors from the equation.
Yeah. Right. If you remove even this lifestyle from the equation.
Sure.
Well, for what it's worth, I do come from a background of my father owning his own marketing firm that he started when I was like 5 years old, and I have done work within that back in the day, but I don't want to do that really. So desk job, I mean, I'll tell you, I would work in sports. I would do something in sports, some form of like journalism and sports.
Plug the podcast.
I mean, my podcast. You're saying my Blue and White Brothers podcast that I've been running for 5 seasons now.
Yeah.
I have my own Penn State football podcast that I've been running with my brother for 5 years now, and it's just like a labor of love. It's fun. We like it.
It's very Jason and Travis.
This is too tangential to skip. Bruce Hodson asks, "What was that in the Orange Bowl?"
Jesus Christ, man! Come on! It was our defense gave up a touchdown at the end, and then Drew Aller threw an interception when he could have gone down to possibly go and kick a go-ahead or a tying field goal to force it to overtime. Actually, no, wait. He threw an intercept. Oh, fuck. I can't. I forget already. We blew it. All right? That's what you want to hear, Bruce? We blew it. It was tough. It was a tough loss, but, I've already moved past it.
Bruce is my burner account.
Yeah. No, Bruce has been a follower for a long time, and it's not you.
That's what you like to think.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. Let's talk about your backpack, the Zerk. Because I knew it took a long time for you to develop this. What would you say the features of this pack that like you had a really strong opinion? Like when they gave you the first prototype, you're like, no, fuck this, or like when you first had the conversations, like it has to have X, Y, and Z. Well,
I mean, let's be honest. This day and age, a lot of packs have the same core, structure and function, right? Top loaders especially. That's what we're talking about here. Most thru hikers use top loading backpacks with a big outer stretch back, pocket, and that's kind of like standard in the industry these days. But I wanted like thicker shoulder straps that like could take the weight of the pack a little bit better, and then we do have a hip belt that is removable that's not really load bearing. It's kind of more just to keep it attached to your back if you're moving more swiftly or be doing like high, you're doing like if you're on like the Wind River High Route or the Sierra High Route or the Hayduke, you want to be able to use your hands very easily and have your hips free and you can, the hip belt I don't know. For some reason, I don't like having a giant hip belt attached to me when I'm like doing a lot of different. Or I'm sorry, I do like having the hip belt on there when I'm doing a lot of different like high functioning movements when your center of weight is not like ideal for these circumstances. You need to have that pack staying on your back in those moments. So that's why we do have a hip belt for that, but it does not load transfer. So I did want it to be a removable hip belt in that sense that I don't like having a thick hip belt on my back with a 40 liter pack. At 40 liters and under, I don't want a hip belt. You know, my torso, my chest, my shoulders are big enough to like take on the weight of that. And I know that's not ideal for everybody. Like for you to fill out a 40 liter pack, you probably want a hip belt still, right?
I just love that. I like hip belts because I like that when you put them on and you pull them tight, it feels like you're being hugged. Like I think there's something very comforting about feeling like, okay, we are one.
This ain't going nowhere.
Me and this pack are one. I feel like there's a nice hug around me. I feel safe.
So you like a bit of a more robust hip belt in that sense.
Yeah, I just want to be squeezed.
Yeah. Zach, you're similar.
It depends on the weight of what I'm carrying. For most of my trips, I actually prefer not having. I guess it kind of just depends because I use your pack a lot, and when I do, I don't use the hip belt that it comes with there. But
a lot of times I just leave it dangling behind me. Like I'll clip it and just let it dangle behind me.
Yeah.
And then if I get into like some more, high like active situations, I'll clip it around me.
Yeah. But for heavier hikes, I definitely do want something that is load bearing.
Yeah.
But there is something, the freedom of not having a hip belt is really nice. Yeah. And it also traps more heat.
It does do that. And that's one thing that I like. You can get like more chafage in places, or like just things can cut, like dig into you, whatever. And it's just nicer. It's free, like you say, freedom. I like the freedom of movement. I like that. It's just something I've grown to enjoy over the years, is not having a hip belt. But there definitely are times where I would like a more robust hip belt, and that's when the pack gets heavier. 55, 45 liters, 50 liters and above. Colder weather where you need more layers, you need more food. I'm not using the Zerk for that. However, we are working on a 50 plus liter pack that will have a hip belt. And also working on a day pack that will have a hip belt that is a more condensed version of like the Zerk style. Those will be coming out not this year, but 2026. Anyways, so as far as what we really wanted out of the Zerk is, I kept telling the people at Mount Smith, I was like, what I want is to be able to hike longer and take off my pack less. So I want to have things, in arm's reach without taking the pack off. Because when you put the pack down, like what you think is going to be a 2-minute break becomes like a 5-minute break, or a 10-minute break, or a 10-minute break becomes a 12-minute break, or a 15-minute break. And before you know it, like, time is miles. And if you're trying to do a 30-plus mile day, like, and you're not the fastest hiker in the world or whatever, you're just like, oh, I'm out 30 minutes. That's, a mile and a half or potentially more depending on your pace or whatever. So not only do we have the shoulder, the wider shoulder straps create larger pockets for stuffing things in, and we have a double layer like stretch mesh pockets that kind of like go over top of each other. One's taller than the other, one's a little shorter than the other. And I put all kinds. I could put my phone there. I am religiously keeping my phone in one side. I put a bunch of snacks and stuff on the other side, or my camera on the other side, whatever it is. And then on the outside of the bottle pockets, if you are, some people can't reach the bottle pockets very well. Are you one of them?
I can't reach them.
With those little baby shoulders, you can't?
They don't bend back, because it's not. The problem is I have to bend it back, and then I have to lift it high enough to get pull it out of. Like I can touch it, but to pull it above where the pocket ends, my arm then has to go so
shorter.
Far up.
If you hike with Chauncey, you become her drink bitch no matter what.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's.
How do you know that, Zach?
Because I ask him. If he stops to take out his water, I'll be like, "Can you grab this for me?" Yeah. And then I ask him to put it back, and it's just
okay
like,
it's okay if you do that for people. By the way, people that are out there that'll help your hiking buddy out.
I want a backpack.
Do it.
That has a way where you could like pull it out of the side.
Well, do you know they used to make bottle pockets like that? and now they don't for whatever reason. They used to make bottle pockets that were like they were just went in that way.
Well, what I do now is I'll put my water bottle.
Granite Gear used to make them like that.
When I'm using the Gossamer Gear pack, because it has those types of pockets in the front, I'll put my smart water bottle there.
Oh, you mean they have attachments that you attach?
No, I'll literally slide it in the sleeve mesh.
They have the new
and
new
it
mesh
sticks
right
up,
there.
and it goes about this high.
hate
And if
that.
I take a video, it's like hitting me in the face.
I don't like having battles
either.
over. Are you talking about even
that.
the 1 liter, or are they even shorter than that?
The shorter than that's good, but I've done it with the 1 liter.
It's
not ideal.
With my bottles, with my shoulder strap pockets, even with the shorter bottles, I don't like having this thing jutting out right there.
Slashing.
I
hate that.
I do
I
not
just
like
don't want
it.
that there.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's not the solution I want.
And if you do like it, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I just don't. It's just not my thing.
Other than that, if I don't do that, then every time I want water, I have to take off my pack to get to it and take off an arm. And so for
Maybe you're a bladder bitch. Maybe you're a bladder bitch.
The thing that I don't love about a bladder is that I don't know how much is left. And I've fucked myself.
By the way, you get used to it. You start getting a sense for it.
Yeah, I have fear around that because when I did Half Dome, I had a bladder and I finished the bladder by 7:30
You can
a.m.
also.
It was
I
a
am
day.
very thirsty to the
was
point
so
of being
thirsty.
blacked out that I don't know how much water I
was
have.
so thirsty.
You could put the bladder can go anywhere. It doesn't have to go like inside deep into your pack. Some people put their bladders like actually you could put the bladder in the side pocket if you wanted to. If you really wanted to. You could.
I don't think I should have to change from the bottle. I think I like the bottle,
Listen,
but I
if
just
you're
want
gonna
to be able
put
to reach
that
it.
kind of evil on someone else having to get your bottle out all the time.
It's not that big of an ask. If you're
Apparently
standing,
it is to
if you're
Zach.
standing right next to me and you're not, everything's big to Zach. If you're standing right next to me and you're not moving, and
It's a good size.
It's the right size.
I've been told.
yeah, I rest my case.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, the point I was getting at is, so I didn't. So a lot of people are copycatting as they do down the line with good ideas. The bottom pocket. Whoever first made the bottom pocket, I actually don't know.
I think Palante was the first one.
There were companies that were making that bottom pocket long before Palante. They just didn't like popularize it. Let's put it there. So Palante in the thru-hiking industry absolutely popularized the bottom pocket, but they're not the first to ever make a pocket there. Yeah. And I've had my reservations about the bottom pocket because I'm under the assumption and suspicion that people are, regardless of what you say about your practices with using the bottom pocket, you're probably losing trash out of that thing at some point in time. And I'm not cool with that. And I'm not saying that you definitely are, but I guarantee you it is happening.
You're more prone to it than other pockets.
It just is. And I know you get that one little corner and that's where it's coming out if anywhere. Yeah. Or maybe you just don't even get it in all the way and then it just falls out, whatever. So we're all not trying to be trash pandas out there, right? We want to make sure our trash is taken back into town and thrown away. So I did not go down the route of wanting to replicate the bottom pocket, but what I did then was decided to make trash and or snack pockets or whatever else you want to use it for on the outside of the bottle pockets. So, and those are reachable, you know? So, and we have a little drawstring on them that you can tighten, a little shot cord drawstring. You can tighten those down after you either take something out or put something in, and then you just pull, and then they're taut, and things aren't falling out.
Yeah.
So, all of that is within arm's reach without taking the pack off. You got your bottle pockets, you got your trash pockets on the side of the bottle pockets. You got two, on each shoulder strap, two pockets for snacks and or bottles and or your phone, and beyond that, you know, you can one sling shoulder it for reaching the back pocket, the big stuff mesh back pocket. And you know, really the only time you need to get in your pack if you had to was to get more snacks out, refill, and or like, I don't know, set up camp at the end of the day, put a layer on, take a layer off.
Mike Arison asks, are you still in a relationship? Your girlfriend seemed pretty horrified.
Horrified of what? My face?
The shaving incident.
Yeah, we're still in a relationship. Yeah, and she definitely felt for like, until like the 5 o'clock shadow became more than a 5 o'clock shadow. The first week was she just felt like she was dating a stranger.
Yeah. How weird was it for you to look in the mirror?
Very weird. Very weird. Because like, to be perfectly honest, I don't feel like that skin face, that like, regardless of the balding that has been occurring over the years and a couple little gray hairs right here, like the face that is under this does not feel like it has aged that much. Like it felt like I looked very similar to the way I looked before I started growing my beard out. And I was like, well, that's probably the bonus of not having your facial hair, facial skin damage. Touch the sun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can see like here it has some wrinkles, but like this is the only space that does not touch, or sorry, the hair doesn't grow essentially. Hair grows like all the way up to here, so.
But you also get regular Botox.
Semi-regular. And I got a sponsorship for it. So,
Bobby's Botox. What's the least favorite trail you've done that's over 50 miles?
This is an easy one. Shout out to Jersey and shout out to the Lone Star Trail. Yeah. And I didn't do it all. What did we do? 35 miles of it?
Do we get to count that even though we didn't do 50
It's a 100-mile trail. Yeah. And we knew on day 1.
Yeah.
We definitely knew on day 2. Yeah. On day 2 is when we were like, we quit.
Do you think we would have finished if it wasn't for the weather?
Probably.
That just made it way too easy to get off trail because it was like a 36-hour like torrential storm that was coming through and we were already not enjoying
My aunt picked us up.
Yeah. I remember that. Took us out to lunch.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we left somebody left their wallet. Was it me?
Sounds like a you thing.
No, somebody left the keys to the
that's right.
Somebody left the keys to the rental in my aunt's car after she dropped us off at the rental. And like I didn't know where my aunt lived, but like 10 minutes after she left, someone's like, I don't have the keys, or like somebody said they didn't have their wallet. I forget which it was. Yeah. And so no, it was not the keys because we used the rental car. It was someone's wallet.
Yeah.
It was someone's wallet. We got in the rental car and somehow within the next 20 minutes chased her down like mad people, drove up beside them like 15, 20 miles down the road.
Is this before cell phones?
We didn't have cell phone service at the time. So yes, there was no cell phone reception.
So you're literally car next to her, like
pull over.
You know what? Maybe it was your phone that you left behind. Oh. I think it was your phone.
Yeah, I don't recall exactly what it was. Yeah. She would remember,
but
I could text her right now.
The driver of our vehicle was going like 100 miles per hour to.
You mean Jersey? Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah, so, okay.
I've been going through the Rolodex in my mind, and I don't think I can give
100 more than 100 or less than 100? More than 50?
More than 50.
So that sucked that I hated.
Even the most literal interpretation of it, least favorite. So, like, you could still like it, but if the one that you would want to hike again the least amount.
That's tough. I really have liked a lot of the trail. I mean, I do feel, by and large, with the exception of the Lone Star Trail, I do feel like every trail that I've like had, it has its own special like thing that I've enjoyed about it. And so, least favorite, okay, got it. I got it. Florida Trail. I did 550 miles of the Florida Trail, and at no time, there was one place in the section that I hiked that I enjoyed, and it was the St. Mark's Wilderness, right around the bend of Florida, from the Panhandle into the peninsula. Other than that, I didn't find any real redeeming qualities of the Florida Trail. Now, I will say, it's with the caveat or asterisk that I went against the grain. I started like the last week of February in Pensacola going southbound. So like I wasn't with anyone. I used it as a ramp up to getting my feet ready and my back ready and like my body ready, my brain ready, whatever, to starting the Arizona Trail. And I just didn't enjoy it. Now, I'll also say that I do plan to go back and try and hike the entire thing at some point in one shot. So, or maybe as part of the Eastern Continental Trail.
We got a question about that in a second.
Cool. Chance?
This is hard.
How hard? Are we talking like rock hard?
So hard.
Now it is.
I don't hate any of the ones I've done.
I like that though. That's good.
If I had to pick which one I liked the least.
Was it anything in Arkansas?
No, because I thought that was fun.
Okay.
Not in the moment. I sure didn't. It was cold and it was wet and it was painful.
A lot of Fords?
A lot of fords?
Were there fords?
All
the time.
Fords,
Yeah,
fords,
right. A
all
lot.
the time.
Yeah,
like 10 plus a day.
Yeah.
It was miserable. But the water was really pretty, and I was with Fireball, so it was fun. I'd probably put the Foothills Trail.
Where's that?
It's in South Carolina, like hugs Clemson.
Really?
Yeah, it's 76 miles.
It's definitely the last place I think of hiking is...
I did it in February with Harper. So it was nice because it was me and Harper, and there weren't a lot of people out there. But I think of the trails I've done, just by default, that one would fall to the lowest because I was solo, so there was less fun times. And because I did it on a shoulder season, and I didn't really see anyone. So I'll go with that one, but I did enjoy it.
So just there were circumstances surrounding the hike that were not fun, but not the hike, not the actual place itself.
No, I think the hike, I had a great time.
Okay.
I just think that on other hikes I've done, there were more things enhancing those. So there was nothing wrong with this one. There was just more on others.
So I think, so what I'm getting from you is like you've selected hikes you pretty much largely feel like you'll end up enjoying. And I think I feel almost the same exact way.
Or ones that I can fit. Because the Foothills Trail I didn't pick because I was like, oh, this looks great. I picked it because I had the time to do 76 miles available, and it was February, and I didn't want snow. So I was like, okay, that narrows it down. Let's look at a list of trails that I could do.
When did you do that Foothills Trail?
Last February.
Okay.
And so I had a week, and I was like, okay, I've got a week. Where can I go that I have a week that I can do the whole thing mileage-wise, that I'm not going to be dealing with like 0-degree temps and stuff.
Why do we feel like it has to be an individual hike that we have to do in full completion and not just like select a section of another place that we know about?
Because it feels good.
I mean, I'm with you.
It feels good to finish them.
I'm with you, but like the longer I have been a hiker, the more I understand the logistical, like smart nature of choosing sections of already like established, you know, known and enjoyed routes and hikes.
I think for me, because I flipped past the Sierra on the PCT, and I wanted to go back and do it the following year, and that didn't work out because...
Oh, you still haven't done the Sierra?
No, I have.
Oh, okay.
But the following year, I had wanted to go back and do it, and like a week before I was set to fly, a forest fire happened, and it would have closed. The reroute would have been... It wouldn't have made sense with the time I had off work. And then the year after that, I wanted to go back and do it, and I ended up doing the AT instead. And then the year after that, I ended up finally going back and doing the JMT. But for that 3-year stretch, it was just this little itch that just bothers you and says, you didn't finish this yet. And because I had that, I don't want to put myself into that again. I know, okay, if I go do half of the long trail, I want to do the other half. And so I'm creating a situation.
I still have half the long trail to do.
Right. So I'm creating that situation
From
where it's
trying
just,
to go do the long trail, I tore an ACL and I wasn't able to complete the top half, and I tried to do it.
You probably still haven't forgotten.
Oh, I haven't. I've just been waiting for I don't live in the East Coast anymore, so it's not as easy to go and do. And like I think that at some point I'll get over there to do it, but I just haven't gotten back there.
So it just feels less messy.
I tried 2 times to do the long trail, and both times I failed for various reasons. And that's the reason why I went back to the PCT 3 years in a row. It's because each time I went to go do the PCT, fires happened or something happened or injury happened, and so 3 years in a row I was like, I gotta go do this whole trail all at once. And it's like on these big trails, it's really like an undertaking, and to like, you know, at this point it's like sections do make sense though.
Sections make a lot of sense,
you know,
especially
being a section hiker does make sense in my opinion.
And when you are like I am, where I work at a desk, and I do get limited PTO, it's like, okay, well, I have to work within the parameters. Even this year, when I'm looking at this year and I'm thinking, what am I going to hike this year? I have to go back and forth in my mind about, okay, well, I'm getting married in August, and then we want to go on a honeymoon.
Oh, shit.
And so that's going to be like 3 weeks.
The logistics are fucked.
Right there in August. Yeah. And then after August and
leading up to all that will just be chaos anyways.
Right.
So
and I can't... My friends are hiking the long trail in September, and they want me to go. And I'm like, I don't know if I can take 3 weeks in August and 3 weeks in September.
No.
At that point, you might as well quit your job. And then it's like, okay, well, when makes sense?
Just call off the wedding.
Just call off the wedding. That's it.
I mean, come on. We're hikers. He'll get it.
But so it's hard. And so that's the trails that are around 100 miles are great. Because you can take a week off work. You can go do them. You can get them done. You can say that was nice and just file them away in the done cabinet.
I gotta imagine, and I'll ask Zach when he comes back. I gotta imagine that there's like somebody has a list of trails that are like at 100 miles or less, or like less than 200 miles.
Yeah.
Like here's like, and I'm not talking like the big name ones, but like ones that are off the radar. For example, the first trail that I ever hiked is a 60-mile long trail, taking like 62-mile long trail in Pennsylvania called the Loyal Sock Trail.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful trail. And like no one knows about it. Like hardly anyone's through hiking it ever. And I mean, I was doing it back in the day before through hiking was even known to the internet world, at least in the way that it is. But like the Loyal Sock Trail is a trail that I would recommend to a ton of people who are like, oh, I only have, a few days, or like, even with travel, I only have a week. It's like, okay, well, you can go at your own pace, do, 15-mile days, enjoy it in the dead of summer. There's falls, there's water, there's creeks, there's streams, there's runs, there's waterfalls. It's beautiful. And even like, you've heard of the Mid-State Trail before?
No.
Goes 320.
I was going to ask about that. If that ranked in your list of ones that you wouldn't rehike.
I think I will. Absolutely, I think I would rehike it. Now,
is that your home state bias?
There is home state bias built into that for sure. Because I was just telling her about the Loyal Sock Trail, which is a shorter trail in north central PA. But the Mid-State Trail is a little overgrown in the southern sections. There are some like boring parts here and there. But like if you want to hike border to border, in Pennsylvania, that's not the AT, go hike the Mid-State Trail.
Yeah, and talking about you,
and there's no app for it to my recollection. So like you have to like do a little, like you have to put some investment into it. Like figure out what it entails. Like learn. It's not just all your fingertips. So like it's like the old way. You know what I mean?
And you mentioned like wishing that there was a nice list of short hikes.
Yeah.
I found some articles on the Trek that have been good lists of short hikes to choose from. I've also put together. Thanks, Daddy.
What did you say?
Good girl.
Yeah. Wearing a backpacker radio hat and a Trek shirt.
I waited for you to get back to drop that.
My good boy.
So I wrote down some of them. Trans-Catalina Trail, California, 40 miles.
That's getting popular, it feels like.
Wonderland Trail in Washington, 93 miles.
Definitely big fan of the Wonderland Trail.
You could do the Collegiate Loop in Colorado. That's 163.
Big fan.
You could do the North Circle Loop, which is in Montana. That's 52 miles.
Never heard of it.
You could do the Three Sisters
Loop. Where in
Loop.
Montana?
I don't know. The Three Sisters Loop, and it's on his article somewhere.
His or his websites?
His websites.
Okay.
Which article are you on, by the way?
No, this is just what I copied into my notes.
Okay.
The Three Sisters Loop in Oregon is 48 miles.
Yep.
The Virginia Triple Crown Loop, obviously Virginia.
So that's McAfee, Tinker, and Dragon's Tooth.
Okay. Yep, that one's 34 miles. The Pemi Loop in New Hampshire is 32 miles. The Art Loeb Trail in North Carolina is 30 miles. The Border Route Trail in Minnesota is 65 miles. So those are some like bite size. I only have a week. I want to take my time. But
the entire Hayduke.
Closing out my thought on why it feels better to do a trail all at once and not have that little itch of you got to go back and finish it. I think that's why I was so unwilling to change the Northville Placid plan. Yeah. Was I was like, I can't leave this not fully finished.
I remember you telling the story.
130, 140.
Yeah.
But when do you fucking go back to fill in that little bit?
You're from there though, right?
Yeah, but it's just the idea that something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Something's just gnawing at you when you don't finish a trail.
Yeah. No, I get it. Believe me, I definitely have.
I don't feel that about the Lone Star Trail.
No.
We're going to Texas. And you know what? You didn't feel that about the Northville Placid Trail either.
That's very true.
Wait, did you quit that or did you not do it?
Well, inadvertently I quit because I sprained the shit out of my ankle.
Yeah,
you were there for that?
Yeah.
You went there?
Yeah.
And we hiked it together.
So on day one, where
I sprained it on day 3.
He sprained it just in time for football.
So you went home?
Yeah, he went home with my dad.
I went to her parents' home
and watched football with my dad.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't recall this about that story. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We got a little bit of a tiff about
I will
plans.
say, yeah.
You guys did?
Oh, yeah.
Because she was like, you're going to my parents' house?
No, because no. Before
No.
that, this is like day 2, and Zach's like, this trail sucks. Let's do something else. And I'm like,
that is very Zach of him.
I'm not flexible. Sorry.
I didn't say the trail sucks. I said the way that we're hiking it sucks.
Yeah.
It was like
what?
We were cracking the whip to like just get everything done and like not stopping.
We started.
It feels like that's your style.
We scheduled a podcast the morning of a 20-mile day. And so we didn't get on trail till like 12:30.
Well, then you guys just planned poorly.
Yeah, the sun set early, and so we had to just fucking crush miles that first day.
Yeah.
And then
I get
the second
that,
day we were.
But you couldn't change your plans. That's what you're saying.
Mentally, no.
Oh, that's different than actually being able to.
We could have.
You were locked in, and you wouldn't have it another way. And then Zach went ahead and just sprained his ankle and was like, "I gotta go watch football with your dad."
I had my mindset on doing it at that point, and so then, like, when the idea of not doing it happened, and my mind was already convinced I was doing it.
I get it. You both shouldn't hike together. Is what it sounds like.
What I
just kidding.
What I proposed was because the Northville Placid Trail,
she's already engaged, dude.
It stays very low. Like there's no elevation change on this hike.
Okay.
And the Adirondacks are known for the peaks. I'm like, maybe we do half the trail and then we go bag a few of the peaks, like just to get more of a sample of the area.
But yeah, the Adirondacks are like epic. I mean, it's like baby white mountains essentially.
Yeah. The other thing about it was we also didn't have a car, so my dad was just picking us up and
Those
dropping
are
us off
for-
places.
Your dad.
Thank you.
That's what your dad's for.
Yeah.
By the way, your dad would have been stoked.
Yeah. Well, not me though.
Dad, if you're watching, just adopt Zach.
We did drink a few cream ales.
Yeah.
Nice. Jenny Cream?
We had a good time.
You guys drink Jenny
Yeah,
Cream?
yeah,
He's
Nice.
obsessed with them.
Yeah.
He's got like 7 bar lights that are Jenny Cream.
By the way, that is very like a mid-Atlantic to Northeast person to love Jenny, especially your dad's age, to love Jenny Cream Ale, Genesee, and anything that has to do with like bar signs.
It's the only thing in our fridge.
Wow.
If I had to answer that question again about a trail I probably wouldn't be dying to rehike,
Let's hear it.
Ice Age Trail. Because
You liked it?
No, we got the highlights of it, and I thought the highlights
You
were
were
really
there.
cool.
I didn't know if you guys did more than like.
We did.
We
Yeah.
did enough to do the Mammoth Challenge, which was what, like 40-something miles?
Yeah.
And that was all the best.
I think we saw the highlights. And by the way, this is literally.
Isn't it
the
an
least
800-mile
favorite.
trail?
It's like 1,100 miles.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah.
You're telling me out of 1,100 miles, you did 40. You're like, that's pretty much it.
Well, so we didn't pick the miles. The Ice Age Trail Alliance.
If the Alliance is listening right now, I'm sorry.
No,
For
again,
many things.
the literal interpretation of the word least favorite. I did enjoy it, and I think if I had infinity time and no responsibilities, I'd love to go through and hike through my home state. But just of the long hikes that I've done, that is my favorite, the least.
I feel like at a later age, maybe in like my late 40s, 50s, like places like the Ice Age Trail, the Superior Hiking Trail, places I'll ultimately get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to do the Superior Trail.
I would do this.
I just imagine that there's not like the calling to get there is not great. And I imagine that there's not a ton of like the community out there is not like robust yet. You know what I mean? So I want to give it a little bit of time to like, hey, maybe they're still building some of what community means along the, like during hiking season is what I mean. It's not to slight anyone that works there or anyone that works hard to make that a place that we can go hike. Obviously, takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of raise a lot of money and deal with a lot of politicians, and it's tough work. But I mean, there's a reason the AT is popular. There's people love meeting people out there and having hiking friends and having experiences with people.
Cool.
I apologize that I didn't write down the Instagram handle for this one because this is a good question. In regards to the new look, does the carpet match the drapes?
Still does. Yeah.
I
You mean the
just-
pubes? Is that what you mean? Oh, okay.
I
The
assume
carpet
there was
matches the pubes.
there was no Instagram name next to this because you just typed it yourself.
No,
and
no, no.
put it in that category.
I do want to give.
Zach, I'll show you my crotch right
I
now
want
if
to
you
give
need.
the person the proper credit on that.
Yeah, I've never dyed a hair on my body ever.
We're
That's a
talking
fact.
about shaving.
Yeah, but you said, I thought that's color. We're talking color.
I think they were asking if your pubes were shaved.
No,
Oh.
carpet matching drapes is
Color.
color.
I know, but in the
Trust me.
The
situation,
context of shaving, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
by the way, they didn't explain to me.
It
what
ebbs
they
and
meant.
flows. It depends. I mean, like when you're
This
out.
is from F. Hall Tree. So, well done. You'll have to give us the actual context or the meaning behind the question, but I have to imagine. it
I
was a
think you're
shaving
probably
question.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and just like I think with most hikers, it ebbs and flows.
Love the idea that someone would write in and be like, "Do you shave your balls?"
Hey, bro, show us that squeaky clean nutsack.
This is my question. I like this question. Can I say that? Can I say I like my question?
Very good question.
This is for everyone. We'll start with Jabba. What, in your opinion, is the biggest misuse of money on trail?
Alcohol is a big one. I mean, it depends on what you're. I mean, are you trying to? Are you on a budget and are you trying to hike? Luxurious. I've been hiking luxuriously for a while, and like motels and or better hotels, and basically just like luxury items in town. It's town. It's like that's where the majority of your money is going into town. Is like, do you care about like feeling good when you get to town, or are you just trying to get out of town and save money? So like me, I have definitely been spending a dickload of money in town for years now because I'm just like a fucking luxurious little bitch when I get there.
In your early 20s or 20s in general, and especially when you're first getting into this, I think it's easier to live like a true dirtbag lifestyle. But yeah, the older I get, the more, and like I have the means to do it now, obviously more so than when I was in my early 20s. But yeah, treating yourself in town is fucking nice as hell.
All of it, like 2 meals and like dessert after the fact and beer and like all of it, like and getting a 12-pack to go.
Not being in a bunk room. Like, yeah, I'm past the bunk room era of my life.
I will say though that like I am not above a bunk room, but what I do try and steer clear of is like if I'm in places where I know people might know me, that deters me from wanting to be in bunk houses and stuff like that. But I'm not above it. I don't mind. I don't like
someone's doing an Instagram live of you sleeping.
I just your downtime is precious.
Yeah.
Like when you are just trying to do nothing. I don't want people like talking to me because they know me. I'm okay with talking to people, but I don't want them to be like fangirl or boying when I've had that. And I'm not trying to say that like that I hate that, but like on a thru hike, like my downtime is precious, right? Like that is how you recharge.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to veg out and do nothing and watch TV on your own and be a slob and be naked. Like what that's what like so you have to pay for that, right?
Yeah. Is any part of you happy about the fact that I think you can probably blend in society now? Because like I've been with you in day hikes in Golden or at Red Rocks or the airport where people recognize you. I have a feeling you're probably months away from that happening again. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
You mean right now, like people wouldn't recognize me?
Yeah.
I've always thought that it would be hilarious to like just do a hike as a shaved person, and that way you're just completely incognito.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to happen this year. I'm going back to the beard, and I again.
But how long will it have to get before you're back to Viking aesthetic?
I imagine by the end of the season, it will be quite robust.
I would think like from this angle when I can't see neck anymore, then that's the Viking look.
Well, so let's put it this way. I'm going to pull up the picture of me on top of Katahdin, all right, and that was September, and I was clean shaven at the beginning of March or the end of February. Are you pulling it up, Zach?
No.
Okay. Then I just thought you were also pulling it up over there. It's my Hiking Viking Facebook. It's like on there somewhere.
I've seen it before. I know what you're.
Yeah. So here we go. All right. So this is. Switch to see profile picture. No, that's not it. Where do I have it? I don't even remember. Come on, it's in here somewhere. It's got to be. Here we go. Fun. This is me naked too, so you have to see. But that's. Oh,
yeah, you're covering it.
Yeah. I don't mean really naked.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you weren't kidding.
The rock, but like that beard is from all of March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That's 7 months right there. And that's covering the neck, right?
You should have photoshopped in some beard around the rock.
Just pubes coming out in all directions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a robust beard for 7 months. Yeah. And so I started at the beginning of December. So by June, I mean, shouldn't my beard look like that?
Sure.
Right? If it's still growing at the same rate, allegedly,
Yeah.
So that's actually a good measuring stick is like how by June will it look like that or will it be lesser or more than?
That's a good question. Does your beard grow faster as you get older?
Gonna find out.
The same?
That's 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out.
This question,
30 to 40.
Are you not going to answer your biggest misuse of money on trail?
Oh, yeah, right. Good question. Me.
Thanks.
Long distance phone calls.
Yeah. To get a little bit more granular with it, because I agree with you. I like all the town luxuries.
I love it.
I don't know if I would trade that. It's easy for me to say that now because like I'm not sweating every dollar like I was at a other point in my life.
Yeah, you are. 3 children, wife.
Well, yeah. I just don't go.
Au pair, dog.
I would say probably like a nice dehydrated meal out on trail.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think I enjoy a ramen 80% as much as that, 90%. The cost difference between like a nice on trail dinner and something that.
Well, and even if you go with like a potato and like meat in that potato and meat at its cheapest is like $1.50 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like $2, like a tuna and a potato. We'll call it $2, right? So, give or take. So that's $2, and then one of those meals is what, like $10 to $15, right?
Yeah, probably at least 13 to 15 nowadays.
Right.
And I still like them. I enjoy the dehydrated meals, but in terms of like if I'm starting to cut money, like that's the first thing that goes.
I was gonna say we learned the vast difference you could have in a resupply on the Northville Placid Trail, because when we went to resupply and buy our food for the trip, we had a fun little competition of seeing who would spend the most money or the least money on their resupply and comparing receipts after.
Oh, but no one's trying to spend the most money?
No.
Okay.
This was a game that was unveiled after we had shopped. So we didn't go in shopping.
We were just at the checkout, like, I wonder who's going to spend the most money.
Yeah.
And mine came out to like $40. Yours was like 90 and Elise's was like 112.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I thought, what the fuck?
Elise was doing a lot of long distance running, so she had
high quality shit.
Well, and like a
she was on
higher
Daddy's
metabolism.
dollar.
Like she was hungrier.
Yeah. She's still doing that running craziness? She appears to be. At least last season.
She's always doing something.
Yeah. Right.
I would say my vote for biggest misuse of money on trail is anything that could have been a preventable expense. For example, leading up to the trail, you need to buy a piece of gear. You're between two. You pick the cheaper one because you just want to like cut
I'd sooner
where you can,
ship it in from
and you know the
home.
the other items probably better, but you just don't want to spend that money. And then you get on trail and you end up having to buy a replacement for whatever it is that you got to be thrifty. And now your options are whatever the local outfitter has, which is overpriced.
I had to do that this year. No, excuse me, last year. I had to buy a pair of Ultra shoes. I forget. Going through it is irrelevant to the point, but I had to spend retailed money, retail cost on shoes, and I've literally never done that since I've become the Hiking Viking.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I'd factor that as a misuse because I think that's avoidable.
But in that instance, by the way, what for me, sometimes it's not avoidable.
Right.
If you can avoid it, yes, that's a misuse.
Right.
But sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and pay to buy a brand new rain jacket or some shit like that.
Well, so that's what I had to do in the AT.
Right.
So I brought the rain jacket I had, which was like a lightweight Patagonia one, soaked through, like before Tennessee, and then
because why? Like what happened to the jacket? Like
it's just
to your knowledge,
it's an old jacket. I didn't want to buy something new. It's super thin and like a lightweight option, so it's not meant to
turn out to just be a windbreaker
worn all day in heavy rain.
Yeah.
And I ended up just buying one in town that I thought would keep me more dry, and like as I was buying it, knew it was a stupid buy.
Yeah. But you needed it then.
But why didn't I test that rain gear in rain? That was going to be AT level.
Well, you also probably didn't really have a full understanding and/or appreciation for the level of rain you'd be dealing with.
No, but still, had I properly tested my stuff.
Yeah. And you did the AT like third of all your trails, right? Or wait, you didn't do the CDT yet, did you?
Yes, I did CDT in 2018. So AT was third.
Yeah. So you had a knowledge of gear at that point in time.
I don't know. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm confused.
You hiked the CDT?
CT.
Oh, I said CDT.
Oh, I said CT.
Oh, I said CDT.
Oh no, I did not hike the
CDT. I said CDT. Okay. The point is, you had it's irrelevant to the conversation.
I thought you were glaring at me like I had a fourth trail. I was like, where?
The
Trans Catalina.
Out of your forehead. You had a very core knowledge of gear at that point in time. That was the point.
Yes,
but you just went with an old
and I'd also
jacket.
Purchased all my expensive backpacking gear, so I was comfortable and happy with the kit I had, and I didn't really want to tweak it. Like I liked it.
Yeah.
And so the difference for the AT was add a rain jacket.
Yeah.
It was like, cool, I've got this one.
Avoidable expenses.
Yeah.
I like it.
We've never really talked about this in any sort of depth. How much thought do you put into your hiking socks?
Okay. The thought that I put into them is as long as they're like not pure cotton. A, B.
Any cotton.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what's in all these blends. Some of them like have a little bit of cotton in them sometimes.
I don't think they do.
Sometimes they can't.
Do they?
Sometimes.
Disagreement.
Well,
spin the wheel.
This is one where he could be factually correct, but I bet that
it depends on the sock.
The sock that he's using.
I'm not talking about 0.6. I'm talking about like throughout the entire history of my career hiking.
Yeah.
Like some of them have like there's performance blends with cotton.
Okay. Name one.
I can't off the top of my head remember all these like erroneous brands that I've like gotten like free shit from over the years. I just couldn't tell you. But anyways, I do not go with light colored socks or white socks. I don't go with white socks for sure, but like
and that's just because they look bad.
They look dirty even if they are clean. And I typically go with like black socks when I'm hiking. As long as if a sock starts getting holes in them, I get rid of them. I'm out. They're done. And so to that extent, like if I were purchasing socks all the time, I would look for the most durable for sure. And then after that, I would look for the ones that like dry the quickest.
And what do you recommend for durable socks?
Well, I mean, I've been using 0.6 for a long time for a reason. I would say they're not quite as durable as, say, a Darn Tough. But even Darn Toughs, depending on the thickness, the cushion, you can find Darn Toughs that like get blown out.
Totally.
But both 0.6 and Darn Tough do have their lifetime warranty where they will replace.
0.6 does as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
And maybe double check that, by the way.
I was going to say, this might be a wheel spin.
Oh, yay!
Oh, yay!
Because I'm not involved.
Well, we'll figure it out. They do. I'm almost positive they do. Warranty.
Satisfaction guaranteed at 0.6. We thrive on your happiness. We know that.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
We know that merino is the world. Blah 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 blah.
And by the way, I do like err on the side of merino blended wool for socks.
If your 0.6 products fail due to a manufacturing defect, we will gladly exchange or replace your item at our discretion over the life of your product.
So there's a discretion
Sounds
there.
like no.
So it's not. By the way, they will replace, but not to the extent that Darn Tough does.
Right. Darn Tough's like you wear it through.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Which is absurd that it's still happening in this day and age, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like that is wild that they still do.
Yeah.
That, like without fail. So I merino wool, black. Some people like to go like full blown like ankle socks to the point where they're like at the ankle. I make sure that I have enough thickness that they're not being blown through, but enough thickness and height that like rocks and sticks aren't kicking into my ankle bone.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is mad annoying.
Do you know which height you buy?
I guess it's not above. It's not.
So there's the quarter and then there's the crew.
I think crew then. I think crew is
crew's the one where like you push down slightly and then it's sitting above your ankle bone.
So this is literally the sock that I hike in, right here.
That's probably a quarter.
Yeah, I'd say quarter.
Yeah.
That's the height because it covers this bone right here.
Yeah.
Right, and I like what because once you either get a bruise or a cut on that ankle, then somehow everything in the world hits it again and keeps cutting it open.
Yeah.
And like even like the inside of your heel clips it sometimes. And that's just frustrating. It's annoying.
It's like when you bite the inside of your mouth.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you're just biting it.
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
So those are largely the things that I look for in a sock. Is just do they dry well? Do they like when they are dirty? Do they become sandpaper? Like that's one that like I've had that problem with Darn Toughs. Is like when they get dirty, they get crusty. Like they become more Brillo-y. They start to like give you maybe not blisters so much, but like hot spots and stuff. What about you guys?
I'm Darn Tough. Typically on most all hikes, unless I'm testing something different. Mainly because when I was researching gear for the PCT, that's what I ended up picking, and they gave me no reason to switch. So I just have not felt the need to.
What color?
I like different colors because I like to be able to know, okay, I wore the purple ones
the gross
yesterday,
one.
Today's the blue pair, tomorrow I'll wear green or whatever.
Yeah.
So I like to have different colors so I know which one is which. But I still have socks from the PCT in 2017, Darn Toughs, that are still in my drawer that I still wear.
I still have lots of 0.6 that I've used from lots of thru hikes.
For me,
sure.
it's not like a new hike comes up and maybe if I'm feeling a little like fancy, I'll buy myself a new pair of socks just for that like first foot in feel. But for the most part, any hike that's happened afterwards, I'll just grab ones that are already in the drawer, and they're typically Darn Toughs.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Are we boring you?
I guess I'm tired.
You want the triple?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's your slushy.
You can have it.
Are you sure?
I'm the same, by the way. Darn Tough 0.6. Do still have some minus 33 in the rotation, and I'm the exact same.
I've used Farm to Feet too.
Yep.
I've used some of that. There's a couple of other brands that I've used over the years, like that I have like random pairs of, and I've liked them. I've been working with 0.6 for a long time. It's not like I'm trying to like pump other brands, but like 0.6 is my brand. And then there are the socks that I do like. Yeah. I've even enjoyed Fits. Have you ever used Fits?
No.
There's some comfortable socks too. I don't even know if they're still. They might be out of business now.
I've used minus 33. I've used 0.6. Both have sponsored the pod.
Yep.
All three have sponsored the pod. So I've used all three pairs, and they're still in the drawer. Like there's nothing that I don't like with any of them. I think my mind just goes to what I have the most pairs of when I decide.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the disclaimer that we have to offer is a lot of the socks that I have.
There's a lot of sugar in this. Jesus. All right, go ahead.
A lot of the socks that I have I did not pay for, so, I am
We-
exposed to it that way.
And at a certain point, like socks are socks. As long as you're not getting blisters, like they're there to get beat up.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's kind of the thesis that I was arriving to is if you have a preference toward one brand, great, but I don't think it's maybe just be partial to whichever one's giving you a good discount. Or, again, the lifetime warranty at Darn Tough is hard to fuck with.
Yeah, if you're paying retail, I would go to a durable brand that has that kind of a warranty.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if money matters. That's what we're really talking about.
Totally.
You're penny pinching.
I'm trying to decide.
Thru-hikers are some cheap sons of bitches.
What's the biggest asshole you've ever encountered on trail? And I mean that in the figurative sense. The literal sense would be...
I get it. I was just thinking about the literal sense. Wow, what a hole. Okay, biggest asshole I've ever met on trail.
Probably clip that.
That's a line. That's a line from Daniel Stern in what movie? Home Alone.
Okay. Wow.
What a hole. I think that's Home Alone 2, technically.
Sure.
Okay, so biggest I don't know. They exist. There's no doubt they exist. I don't hold on to those memories too heavily.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I have a good answer either. We can skip that one.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing that we don't have easy answers. I mean, we're surrounded by not assholes.
Yeah. I'm just
Did you
like...
have a story one time about some Lieutenant Falcon guy? Was that you guys that had that story?
I don't recall a Lieutenant Falcon.
A guest at one point told a story about someone who named themselves Lieutenant Falcon.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell to me. Okay. I only know one lieutenant.
Like
the only lieutenant that matters.
It's like a 2018.
Is cuckoo.
Cuckoo bird. Caw.
We're going to the nitty gritty today. I want to know about the stuff sacks. How many do you have? What do you use them for? And do you know the leader age? Probably not. Yeah. Back to stuff sacks.
Stuff sacks. Stuff sacks. By the way, you should start a new company called Stuff Sacks.
And what does that company do?
It's a subsidiary of Ginger Gins. Okay, so basically, the fact that I can't fully trust a contractor bag or stuff, whatever, from being waterproof in an all-out downpour all day. The last thing you want to do when you get to camp is pull out a wet sleeping bag.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
That is the last thing you want to just deal with.
Yeah.
Even if you're wet, you can peel off all your clothes, dry up a bit, and then get in your sleeping bag and be warm and cozy.
Yep.
And I've had enough instances where like your sleeping bag is wet that just sucks. So I double up. Like if water gets in to my contractor bag, my pack liner, then at least my sleeping bag is good to go. All right. So I do that too. So clothes, electronics, and stuff. Or sleeping bag. Those are my 3.
And food.
Well, food is food bag. So 4 technically. Yeah. What about you guys?
Much less.
So 4 is not a big number, but much less. What is that? 2,
3.
Yeah.
Much less. I have a pack liner in my pack.
Are we gonna include that as a stuff sack?
Nah.
Okay, fine.
That's why it's much less. The pack liner is what the sleeping bag and the clothes go into, and then that gets rolled up, and that's its own thing. And then on top of that goes tent or food, depending on the vibe. If the tent's dry, tent will go in first. If
tent has
dry,
its own sack too. So
not if you're me.
Mine does.
Mine does not.
You're just free balling with your tent?
Yeah. I will fold it into my tie back. Like if it's a wet day or something and it's going to be wet, I'll fold it into my tie back and I'll clip it to the top of my pack. So that's my backup for if.
It also depends on the tent that I'm bringing, depending on if it's my tarp, I don't bring one.
But that goes in loosey-goosey. It's on top of the pack liner, so they don't touch. And my food bag is the bag that my food goes in. My electronics go in a Ziploc that goes in that pack liner with the sleeping bag and clothes. And that's it.
I mean, a Ziploc is sort of a stuff sack is a glorified Ziploc in ways. So this is just a container. So like a sack of any sort, I'm carrying, and then I have other Ziplocs that I do carry for like my like toiletry items.
But I don't stuff things in and then roll down the roll top. Clip
so if it has a roll top, it's a stuff sack, obviously.
For me, I think what was a very core memory was on the PCT when we got to Mount Laguna and they were doing those shakedowns. The guys were just screaming about stuff sacks. They had a few beers, but they were, every time they do a pack shakedown, they'd be pulling out these stuff sacks and just throwing them across the driveway and screaming about stuff sacks. So we're talking like
people are carrying like 6, 7, 8 stuff sacks? Yeah, like
everything in its own stuff sack. Yeah. And I remember that moment because it was, when you're in your first few days of ever through hiking, I think those memories last a little longer than others. But I remembered that and being like, these people don't like stuff sacks. And so I just never got to a place where I started then adding them.
They gave you PTSD for stuff sacks?
They just made me they made me feel like I didn't need to incorporate them.
They made you feel like you weren't cool if you had a stuff sack.
They made up with a good point about don't fuck up like the loft on the down, and if you're stuffing it in there, that could mess with it. And I was like, okay, valid point.
You can bring loft back.
Yes, but I also just didn't see the need to. I thought my stuff is already in a pack liner. Granted, you could get a day where it rains a ton, but now I'm a poncho gal, and the poncho goes over the pack, and that feels good to me.
What poncho do you use?
Whatever they're selling at the gas station.
Those kind, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But then I also have my Tyvek as my ground cloth. So if I'm in a day where I'm just getting fucking pummeled with rain, I'm having the poncho on. Well, first I'm having the backpack on. The stuff inside is as described. Then I'll take the Tyvek and I'll tie it around my neck like a little cape, and that'll go over the pack. And then I'll put my poncho on, and that'll go over everything. And so that shit's
you're using a cape and a poncho?
If it's fucking raining, like if it is just raining. So
you'll tie your ground cloth Tyvek around your neck.
Like not like choking myself, but I'll tie it to like the straps. And then the bottom.
I'm not into asphyxiation like Zach is.
The bottom 2 corners of the Tyvek, I'll tie to the bottom 2 corners of my hip belt. So I'll tie that one to that side.
Backcountry belts, anyways.
Yes. So Zach does hike with a belt.
Belts are very handy.
But I'll tie the bottom 2 corners to the bottom 2 sides of my hip belt, and that creates like a little cape for my backpack.
Let's call it a turtle shell.
Yeah, a turtle shell. Yeah. And then I put the poncho over it, and I'm dry.
I'm confused why. Like, so why do you double up that way, but you won't dream of it inside your pack?
Because.
So like, what's the fucking difference here?
Because those are items I already have. That if it would rain hard enough, I would just be repurposing items I already have, not adding more.
Seems
items.
like a very annoying system.
It's not. It's actually very easy because I'm not adding extra stuff in my pack in case I might need it. I'm taking things that I'm already carrying, and if I need it, I'm just repurposing
this
them.
Stuff sack that I'm using for my sleeping bag, it's not. It like weighs like an ounce or 2 at most.
Yeah, I have no problem. I'm not
carrying Tyvek though. Tyvek is fucking heavy.
It's okay.
Tyvek is heavy.
Yeah, but I like having my tent on.
See, there you go. Your weight goes to something you like that's heavy.
I'm not saying this is the most weight efficient. We're not talking weight. We're talking how many stuff sacks.
Okay. Yeah, but you like to have it.
Viking hates your guts.
Yeah, big time. So. Wow, what a fucking moron.
Rachel insinuated it in the opening. So.
A 9-liter stuff sack Ultrasil is 1.1 ounces.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not doing it to save weight. I'm just.
And I bet you.
Apologize to Tom right
now. No, as if. I'd rather spin the wheel.
I demand an apology.
All right, spin the wheel then.
I said I'd rather.
Just then do it.
I'll spin it if you spin it.
Okay.
Okay, you spin it first.
Say something nice. Your stuff sack sucks. Ooh, time to rap. Put on a beat.
This sucks.
Yeah.
Put on like Beastie Boys or something.
I gave Zach a lot of good options for this wheel.
Or put on the beat to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Use none of them.
Do you think any of them are better than freestyle? This is gonna be very
Tell
embarrassing.
a secret.
No, freestyle's going to be better because it's going to be hilarious.
What else did
and you can make a funny reel out of it later.
Jesus.
I said, show a recent photo in your camera roll. I thought that was a funny one. Give a hot take. Call Rachel. Would have been a great one. Take a selfie. Info dump on any topic.
Well, by the way, it looks like these can be rewritten here. You can get to
She
those
says
at
it very
some point.
confidently, as if they're better. I think significantly worse.
Then don't ask for my opinion.
I think calling Rachel would be funny.
Yeah, I think
Let me
so
call
too.
Rachel right now.
Call it.
Oh shit! Got a hot beat.
I'm already embarrassed for you.
Kendrick Lamar.
I'm like getting secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah.
Yo. Chance is filming me because she thinks that I'm gonna suck. Ho! What she doesn't know is I like to.
Fuck.
Whoa! We're talking about stuffed sacks.
Stuff sacks.
My name is Zach. Oh!
Stuff sacks.
Here we go. Oh! All right, that was pretty good.
Secondhand embarrassment is real right now. No doubt.
Okay, there's one.
You want to tell a secret? You think that's more embarrassing?
And I just personally hope
I was trying to be his
never
hype
land
man too. I
on that.
hope that helped.
Spin the wheel. We'll see.
I hope that helped your embarrassment if you had a hype man going on.
Oh, you're the drink bee.
Ah,
I need a beer.
Same.
okay.
And
And you guys better finish every fucking drop.
Nope.
Oh,
I'll drink
that's
as
not
much
part
or
of the
as little as I
stipulation.
want.
Just go fucking get it.
I had a beer right here the entire time.
That's hilarious. It doesn't even matter. Get it.
All right, where were we? Stuff sacks? Did we go off something else?
Yeah, I think we're done with stuff sacks.
Okay.
Oh wait, are you done with your stuff sacks? I started talking shit on your turtle shell.
Oh yeah, Chance was still nesting those.
So how many do you have total, Chance? Did you add them up?
Yeah, 0.
0 stuff sacks.
None of them are meant in the stuff sack way. It's just a pack
about
liner
your
and a food
clothes?
bag. That goes in the pack liner with the sleeping bag.
So just everything's free in there.
Yeah.
She's a fucking chaos.
Yeah.
She's a fucking nightmare. Just fucking bullshit.
So it sounds like if you did get a pinhole leak in that,
Everything's getting wet.
in that trash compactor bag, you're in a really bad situation. You're putting all your
But
faith
that's
in-
what the
in-
turtle shell and the cape is for.
Yeah, it's the turtle shell and cape.
Yeah, but like if you slipped in a creek or something like that.
All my shit gets wet. If that were to
And
happen.
by the way, that has happened to me before.
Yeah.
On the I did the Death Hollow Loop outside of Escalon, Utah. You guys ever heard of that?
No.
Great hike, by the way. If you want to go, you can. It's a loop hike. It's awesome. Drive to Escalon, Utah, and then literally right from the town, you can do a totally awesome loop from town, essentially, and you go through like slot cane situations and hike through a creek and shit. But I was hiking through this creek, and there was like a down tree or a rock in the water, and I couldn't see because you're literally hiking for like I'd say a third of it. You're hiking through water, like in a slot sort of, and I fell in and like I lost a 20,000 milliamp battery pack out of it.
But if that's like the hike I'm doing, I will bring a stuff sack. Like on the Ozark Highlands
But
Trail.
in general, if you're fording like in
Right.
Arkansas and you fall in,
So on the Ozark Highlands Trail, I brought a stuff sack for my electronics
so you're a liar.
it's gonna be wet.
So
That's
you
a
lied to
specific
us?
hike, a very specific.
Apologize to Tom.
Hike. No.
apologize to Tom right now.
No. Call Rachel.
We can't add call Rachel. I just don't know how to get rid of.
Just write that
I
in
want to
Sharpie.
hear John's freestyle.
I mean, what if it's shot or hot sauce or like
I do have 2 shots on here. We could definitely get rid of one of the
No,
shots.
you just put shot on another one that like add it to hot sauce or something, so you can choose a shot or hot sauce.
The
you know
top
what I
of
mean?
my mouth hurt for half of this episode from the hot sauce, so I'm just glad I didn't land on that one again.
A hot sauce shot with liquor should be the hot sauce.
I would rather just leave and go home.
Kill myself.
Yeah.
I'm off the pod.
Yeah. 8 years, this is what does it.
I think we're a good ways into this. I'm going to end with, I want Jabba to ask a question. It can be a self-serving question, one that you want to answer or something that you're genuinely curious about. Putting you on the spot here, Chance and I can fill time.
Well, I guess one that I'd have for maybe, I'll ask individual questions to both of you maybe. Okay. For you, what do you think the age you'll first take your kids on an overnight backpacking trip?
It'll be different. I'm going to segment.
Sure.
I do plan on taking Leo, probably not like an overnight backpacking trip.
I'm asking backpacking specific because I'm sure a camping trip is probably sooner in the cards.
Yeah.
But that's
we
why
were
I'm
going to
asking
do it
backpack.
last year, and then we had health stuff pop up. It's a good question. I'm just projecting because I don't know what it's like to have kids older than the kids that I have. So I think that...
Like, soon? Not soon? Like, when they're a certain age? Like, what's your mentality with that?
I think like 6 or 7. Like, once I can count on Leo to actually
do
enjoy
some
hiking.
walking.
We can go out and do, 7 miles total over like an overnighter, something like that. I think probably I would say 6 or 7 is probably what I'm eyeing. But I want to get him out and camping. Like,
is Jenna interested in joining?
Yeah, she loves camping.
Cool.
She loves car camping.
Cool. Right.
Backpacking's not as much anymore, but I think we'll probably just start off by camping in the backyard just to get him used to it.
Is there a backpack that holds 3 infants? You could get all 3 of those kids out on a backpack?
Yeah, they're
dead strong.
3 stuff sacks.
3 stuff sacks. Just shove them in there. Yeah, the E-vent. You can breathe through it.
Yeah. No, we don't even have something that would carry 2 of them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And who would?
Front
and back?
Those boys are certified units now.
Oh, by the way, talk to Cindy Ross. She get into the old alpaca. What did she use? Llamas.
Oh, yeah.
She used llamas.
Yeah.
People use alpacas as well. Chance, now that you're a not quite married girl, but soon to be married girl, what is being married going to do to your thru-hiking career? Anything?
Nothing different.
Nothing different?
No.
Not even a little?
Are you changing your last name?
Ooh.
Yes.
To what, though? Whose name? Like
Garrett's.
His or someone else's?
Is
It will be
it
random?
gonna be Juliana Garrett?
I'm going to make Chauncey my middle name. So, because, no one cares about the middle name Marie. That's burner middle name.
For trademark purposes.
Yeah, I'm going to make Chauncey the middle name. The only qualm I have is
You're going to make your
the
middle
full
name
name
your
of
trail name?
Juliana Johnston to me kind of sounds like a porn star.
Yeah, we've
It's-
By the
it
way,
sounds like Jenna
I'm
Davidson.
clicking on it. Who the hell is this Juliana Johnston?
Easy.
I don't mean you. I just mean that name.
But yes, I will be changing it to Johnston.
Is your trail name going to be Johnst?
No, it's just going to be Chauncey. It's still going to be Chauncey.
Chaunce.
And then I'll just tell people it's my middle name.
Chaunceston. Chaunceston Johnson.
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Johnson Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to change anything. He's never really cared if I go off and hike. Like, he's not someone that's like, no, don't go.
Has he even remotely thought of joining for an extended backpacking trip?
He has agreed to do
Agreed?
He has agreed to do
held
the
a gun
Tour
to
de
his
Mont
head.
Blanc. I've got to start him off on something bougie. So he's agreed to Tour de Mont
Yeah,
Blanc.
that's not a bad idea.
I'm really
or does it ruin
pushing-
it for later for him?
No, I'm pushing the fact that like you can stop in little chalet towns, you can sleep in these huts, you can drink wine and eat cheese.
Yeah. No,
And
no.
my plan is to then the following one that I get him to agree to, also probably something international, maybe the O circuit in Patagonia or the W, whatever that one is. So that there's the exciting aspect of it's abroad, but then like slowly take out the bougie factors so that he doesn't notice.
I actually think it might be smarter to do it the other way. Personally.
No, because if I take him out on something
He'll
super
never want to do it
rugged,
again.
he'll never,
Right.
yeah, he'll never want to do it again.
But then you'd be like, well, but let's just do it bougier. And I'll be like, okay. All right. But I don't think he'll ever, or him, whoever, like if you start with a bougie hike, like why would you want to make it harder for yourself after that? You're like, this is awesome. I don't want to do, like when somebody goes and hikes the PCT first, they're not like, oh, I want to go deal with rain for 6 months.
Yeah.
No, he would never do. I don't think he ever would do like a 6-month trail.
Well, no. I'm not asking if he'll do a 6-month trail. But like, what if you guys did a week on the Colorado Trail or something like
Yeah,
that?
he would do that.
Yeah, well, that's a great start. Yeah, that's not bougie, but that's like pretty fucking straightforward. It's a great trail from like everything's there
Sean's
for
took
you.
a boyfriend on the Colorado Trail and ended up in her own shit.
Yeah.
Know that story. I've been here. I've been present for that story, but I didn't know was that like the end of the relationship, middle of the relationship.
No, that
like,
was the day it started.
the day it started.
Yeah, that was like 3 minutes after he asked.
Can only go up from shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, but the problem is if I have a week that I would take him on the Colorado Trail, I'd just rather spend that week doing one of those shorter
I
trails we
understand.
talked
I'm not
about.
trying to
that's
convince
different.
you of anything, but
Yeah, no, I think the good
I feel
thing.
like putting people through the hardest shit first, and then it's like let's make it easy from this point on.
Yeah.
My mindset is just like, as long as you're not telling me not to, as long as you're saying like, no, I don't want you to go do this month-long hike. Like, how will we survive? You know, like, fuck that. As long as he's not telling me I can't do stuff, we're on good ground. And if there are trails that I want to do, like the Tour de Mont Blanc, that I think could be a good overlap that he might also enjoy, then we can talk about that. But
I think I met your future husband briefly at the podcast.
Probably.
And I think I said something to him extremely drunkenly, and I have no recollection of what it is. I want you to find out from him what I said to him. Not tonight, not today.
Oh, no, I'm texting him right now.
Okay. Jabba says he was nearly blacked out when he talked to you the first time at the podcast. He wants to know what he said and if you liked him, particularly his smell. Did you like my smell?
Did you pick up his pheromones?
Yeah, exactly. Does he miss me is what I need to know.
All right, we'll end with this one. This is the peak performance question presented by Topo Athletic. Use code TREKWINTER15 at topoathletic.com. What is your top performance enhancing or backpacking hack? You've been on the podcast a lot.
Steroids. No, I mean, you know my patented Go Juice. As far as performance enhancing,
are we talking about Monster or the Mio?
I mean, Mio and ibuprofen to a binging extent will get you up the trail. That's for sure. No, I don't know. I mean, like, can you elaborate just a little bit on that? Like,
a thing that is not typical. So we're talking about like using a contractor bag as a pack liner. That's something that most people do. Like, is there one thing that you do that you think if we asked 10 other backpackers, they don't do this or they would never think to do it, that is a signature to you that you find to be beneficial to your success in the backcountry? Anything that kind of goes against the grain.
Give me one that I've not thought of this really at all. So I'm not really, nothing's jumping out to me, but I'm sure there's something. It's probably something that it's so natural for me now that I don't even think of it as like being against the grain. What did he say?
He's still typing. Let me let him.
All right, good. Okay. It's a long one. All right, sweet. I hope I scared his balls off. I feel like it was something that was like overbearing and like, oh my Jesus.
Here's one.
Oh, it probably had to do with his day at IHOP. Or no, when he had his fantasy football punishment. I think I may have mentioned something about fantasy football punishment.
I asked if you mentioned the IHOP just now. He said he just walked up to me at the table and went, all caps, you. And I was like, uh-oh. Like, he blamed me for having to get his beard shaved. Yeah. I said, no, the beard didn't look bad, and we kind of laughed about it.
You! I've never met him. Like, yeah, I'll kill you. That's hilarious.
So on the spot, if I were to give one, I'd say one thing that is not thought about very often is, like, everyone knows it's important to be hydrated on trail. Think about that before you get on trail. Like, even the day before I leave for trail, I'm very cognizant that I'm drinking a lot of water, and I'm trying to avoid.
You can get so dehydrated so quickly, so easily, for sure. Even like me, that could even happen to me if I'm not like careful of it, and it really saps you.
Yeah,
especially in the desert.
The older I get, the more I'm cognizant of like my mental and physical performance correlating with my hydration level.
I also, I think there's like people have different takes on electrolytes these days. I think there's all kinds of science out there about them. I definitely use them religiously, for sure. Like, especially like when I'm in town, I will drink drinks that are like the element stuff is great. Like, truly, it is. Like, if I can get my hands on that stuff on trail, I try to. Or liquid IVs, whatever.
Do you want to explain chug one, fuck one?
Chug one, fuck one. So, I mean, it's like chug one, pack one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we would do that we would do that for alcohol, I thought.
No. This was water. I mean, there's also
okay. So when we get to a water source, we would I would say, we got to chug one, fuck one. So it's like drink a liter, fill a liter. So at every water source, and that was typically when we were doing, anytime you and I were hiking on trail, we were typically doing like 25 to 35 miles a day. Yeah. And that's like chugging one, fucking one is important for us at that point.
Because I feel like it's very easy to get in a hydration deficit while you're hiking because you're so focused on the miles that like sometimes you almost overconsume water, like you camel up at a water source.
And you had hypernatremia, right?
I did. Yeah. So I'm now much more cognizant about electrolytes and sodium especially. But I do think, getting to the point.
Salt your food.
Yeah.
Salt your food too. Like you can be generous with salt when you're on trail for sure. Now I guess if you take that to the furthest extent and you eat a ton of sodium, like I think you can get kidney stones or like there's some repercussions for like that can happen there. It's like a lower chance of it happening, but especially if you're older in age, that kind of stuff can happen. And I guess I'm getting to that point.
And 42. If you're prone to like issues with high blood pressure, you should probably be cognizant of your sodium intake.
Yeah.
We are not medical professionals, so please do your own research on this. But
I know, doctor.
I know at least for me that like, I can't have too much salt.
Yeah. So as far as other stuff goes, I mean that's a good one. Chug one, fuck one's a good one. It's like don't just like having water on you, like. Some people are like, I don't want to have hardly any water on me. I only want to hike with a quarter of a liter, and I want to drink it just like at mile 5 in between a 10-mile stretch. Like I don't like. Some people are crazy about that shit, and some people just deal with water differently. I'm not that way. I sweat like a crazy person. So I'm typically trying to like camel up as much as humanly possible, and then like. At least I'm leaving with a liter most times.
Yeah.
I would say, unless I know there's a water source, like I don't know, a mile down the road. At that point, then like a quarter liter, whatever.
Sweet.
I don't know if I got anything past that really. I mean, wearing the clothing that doesn't scorch your skin, like that kind of shit, like that can sap your energy. Wearing a hat so that you're not like constantly squinting. Making sure you have sunglasses in bright environments like snowfields. Like, I mean, I don't know. This is like for newbies and shit. People that listen to this podcast, like a lot of people, I assume, are at least have hiked a bit to know some of these things.
Yeah. Cool.
Gross.
Go right to segments. To the Trek propaganda portion of today's show. This one is by Katie Jackson. You've heard her name a lot on this podcast of late. Biden's final controversial push for America's public lands. In the final week of his term, President Joe Biden is set to designate 2 new national monuments in California, Chuckwalla National Monument and Highlands National Monument, collectively preserving nearly 850,000 acres. The Chuckwalla National Monument, located in South Joshua Tree National Park. South of Joshua Tree National Park, will protect 624,000 acres of desert landscape significant to the Kahului, Mojave.
You just skipped a word because it was too big.
Yeah. Do you know how to pronounce that?
Chemihuavi.
Okay. Kuchan and Serrano Nations, the Satatila Highlands National Monument in Northern California will safeguard over 224,000 acres encompassing parts of Modoc, Shasta Trinity, and Klamath National Forest, sacred to the Pitt River Tribe and Modoc people. These designations align with Biden's goal to conserve 30% of U.S. lands and waters by 2030, though they have sparked debate over federal land management, particularly in western states like Utah. To get the full write-up on this one, head to the link in the show notes. Okay, question of the day. This one was spurred by a conversation.
This is spurred by this photo. I saw this photo on Instagram, and I thought that makes a lot of sense, and I'm confused. I
was going with the one that we just added.
I didn't know you added it.
We could do both.
Yeah.
2 questions of the day. What is your movie theater order? This was by a conversation we had right before we hit record.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about your Red Bull tasting like a movie theater slushie.
The bottom of it, once it's melted.
Yeah.
I'm getting the slushie. I'm mixing the red and the blue. I'm going a little blue, little red, little blue, little red.
She's big into America, folks.
Yeah, love this country. Love it. So I'll get the slushie, and then I will, if I'm feeling snacky, go for a raisinette maybe. But I also love
raisinette.
I also love like a few bits of popcorn. I don't like enough to get myself my own bag, but if Garrett's getting popcorn, I'm happy because I can have like a few little bits and be good. I just want the taste.
Friendly reminder that around here at least we've got the Alamo, and they got you don't have to get popcorn. You can get a whole bunch of shit, which is great. So yeah. I like getting the mott sticks when I get there. Yeah, and fried pickles.
The nachos are sometimes fun.
Yeah. So you like go to the Alamo as well?
I do like going to the Alamo. We are this is like something that I kind of cringe a little bit about. We are AMC A-listers.
I'm actually cool with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm a big movie theater goer.
I understand. It makes sense.
What
like
are
if you
three
go.
good movies that have come out in the last like
Wicked,
6 months?
Gladiator.
Was Gladiator good?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
Gladiator was good.
I've heard conflicting.
Same. Mostly on the other side of that. So I'm
yes,
glad that you
I liked it.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's probably going to be enjoyable, but from the critic standpoint, I think it probably doesn't hold the same candle to the OG, which I have
It's a
watched
hard
recently.
candle.
Is it a
to hold.
remake or is it a sequel?
It's a sequel. So this is.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean remake.
The main character is the dude's son.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like his path.
Because the original is excellent.
No. It's
Yes.
not. It's not. It's the kid.
I'm the only one here who's watched it.
The kid is the former like. You
Dude.
know, it's his sister's
Marcus
son.
Aurelius.
Yeah, no, it's not.
What is
No,
his
it's not
name?
Marcus
What's the
Aurelius'
dude's
son. Well, yeah, so it is Marcus Aurelius' son.
If
But
you
Marcus,
guys want to see it,
it's
and you
his
haven't seen
bastard
it.
son.
Hold
It's
on,
his bastard
pause.
son.
If you want to see it and you haven't seen it, pause here, skip forward like a minute. He like goes up. I'm spoiling.
It's his
things now.
bastard son.
He goes up to like where the dude's armor is
yeah.
displayed
Yeah.
and like
He
puts it on.
he
and
did
shit.
not father him though.
Did he not?
No.
The whole movie, I was under the impression he did.
No, he did not father him. He got her pregnant, and he then had his own wife and family later. After that, did not stay to father the child.
I thought this was the boy that at the end of whatever when they're doing like the hand in the grass in the first one.
that kid's dead.
So sort of like a reverse Jon Snow situation.
If you watch the original, you know that that's the bastard son.
Well, no, I've watched the original many times. The problem is I have a really bad memory. So if I don't
okay.
watch a movie for a while, I go
Yeah.
into it as if it's the first
Again,
watch.
bastard son. He didn't father the child. Like
Interesting,
he didn't
that
raise
changes
the
things.
child, I should say.
I thought
Yeah.
it was always his son. It was a good movie.
But because it was Marcus Aurelius' son, he had to flee Rome because he was in
so it was
danger.
his son.
It is. It's his DNA. He had sex with that woman.
So that was his mom.
Yes, but I'm just saying he didn't raise the child.
Right.
It's
No,
his,
that's
so
like
bastard
part of the
son.
plot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bastard son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought you were saying he wasn't the dad.
I kept
was
saying
like, it
bastard. You guys
very
want to hear
much,
him one more time?
very much seemed like he was the dad, so this makes more sense.
He's the actual dad, but he didn't father the child. He did not raise the child.
No,
at
he
any
didn't
point.
seem like he was home much.
Yeah, but also he then had to leave because he was his son, and because they would have just murdered him.
Right, and then
Yeah.
he was all pissed about that
Correct.
to his mom in
Correct.
the movie.
Correct.
Anyway, AMC A-listers, you get to go see as many movies as
Per month, yeah.
it's 3 movies a week.
Okay,
up
that's
to,
plenty.
And it's
Who's going more than 3 a week?
It's like $20 a month.
Yeah,
The last movie I saw in theaters was Avatar 2.
which is basically just a remake of Avatar 1.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I was. I didn't go often, and then Garrett had just got me the A-listers too, because for him it's cheaper to take me out to dates if it's $20 a month.
Yeah.
Than
I
every
saw
time.
Romulus in theaters last year. Really enjoyed that in
I don't
theaters.
even know what that is.
That's the new Alien movie.
Okay. Good.
I really enjoyed it
Okay.
for sure. There was a movie last year called The Substance, which was like psychological kind of like thriller horror. It's with Demi Moore. Fucking nuts. I highly recommend The Substance. Highly, highly, highly. I've been chomping at the bit to have some people that don't even know about it watch it, and watch it without seeing a preview or any reviews. Just rent it, or I mean, it's not in theaters anymore. Just rent it or whatever. Just watch it.
Okay.
Trust me.
Will Wicked be enjoyable for somebody that really does not like musicals?
Yeah, the costumes are great.
Heard it was long.
I didn't like it.
Heard it was long.
You didn't like it?
No.
So I
and
asked you to name 3 movies that were good. I know that like
well, the
everyone...
movie was good. Like the costumes were good, the songs were good. I just didn't know what the plot was going into it, and then I learned what the plot was, and I was surprised.
I saw more than that last year, and I'm like struggling to remember it. I watched so many damn movies. I
watched Furiosa. That was good. The Mad Max
That
one.
was all right. It was
Dune
okay.
Part 2. That one was good.
Yeah.
The nice thing about having
Dune 2,
the
definitely up
A-list
there.
is you can reserve your seats for movies and like not actually have to commit to going. Like if something's coming out, we'll reserve some seats, and then the week of, if we don't want to go, we didn't actually buy a ticket.
Yeah.
I did see Civil War in theaters. I enjoyed that. It was not what I thought it was going to be. It was less.
Did the Confederates win this time?
It was less politically charged than I thought it'd be, which I enjoyed. That it was definitely from like the perspective of just like a journalist, and I thought that was really interesting.
Looks like I didn't go as much in 2024 as 2023.
I saw Conclave in theaters. I thought that was interesting.
I had tickets. I didn't go. 2023, I saw The Boys in the Boat, Napoleon, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Wait, there's a new Hunger Games?
Yeah, this one was the one with that girl that got a lot of shit for Snow White.
Yeah, it probably was not that good, was it?
No, it was good.
Okay.
There's another one coming out where it's like,
The Fall Guy was awesome. I thought The Fall Guy was great. That's with Emily Blunt and
Gosling?
Ryan Gosling. Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
I will say I went to see Oppenheimer twice. Because the second time we went with Garrett's parents, but I had already seen it, so I was like, sick, I'll just take a great nap.
That's a long movie to see twice.
I slept through the second one. I woke up when the bomb dropped, and that was like a startling way to wake up.
I'm awake. A nuclear bomb went off.
I watched it when I was sick on my laptop, and I fell asleep and woke up when the bomb went off, too.
Yeah. It'll wake you up.
Damn old. It's so damn long. Yeah. It's just like whatever.
Yeah. The first time I saw it, I saw the Barbenheimer where you back-to-back it, and my eyes were literally just watering by the time I left because I couldn't keep them open any longer. It was like so much screen to FaceTime that I went home and I went straight to sleep. It was 7 p.m. Yeah. I just couldn't stand to look at things any longer.
There's a movie that I've seen recently that it's from 2024. I didn't see in theaters, but it's called The Order. It's with Jude Law. It's based on a true story. It's about an FBI agent that like moves up to Idaho who's trying to uncover basically like a Nazi like breakaway like plot to like fucking like tear down the government, local government. U.S. government. Yeah, it's crazy.
I've heard of very few of these movies. It's interesting.
I'm big on watching movies. Yeah, and I don't do it on trail. Like so, when I'm not on trail, I go down the rabbit hole and watch a lot.
When would you do it on trail?
Some people watch shit. Dude, Jolly watches shit in his tent every night.
Oh, in your tent. I watched Game of Thrones on trail, but it was also coming out while we were on trail, so that was a fun thing because we'd like specifically time where we'd end up to be somewhere with deception.
I'm like sleep is rest is recovery, and I want to recover. Yeah, my body's getting old.
Yeah, no, I'm bigger on the audiobooks.
The original question of the day is: I understand that this is a screenshot of a tweet.
Yes.
I understand that my body can't digest corn or whatever. That's fine.
Whose does?
Yeah. My issue is that I fucking chewed it. How the hell is it coming back out the shape of corn? What are they not telling us?
That's the part that I thought was a very valid point.
It's the cotyledon.
Because you could explain why corn comes out the way it comes out, but I agree with him. I chewed that. Yeah. I chewed that corn.
You're chewing it. You're chewing the guts of it, but like when it comes out, it's not.
It's full kernel.
It only looks that way. It's not really it's not really all of it.
It's poop wrapped with
totally.
Kernel.
You're seeing basically the skeleton of it.
It wouldn't be as yellow if it was just the shell.
You would obviously it is.
I don't know. It looks like.
I'll tell you what. Before you swallow, spit it out and take a look at it. But you can still see full kernel. Like hanging there.
I ate corn last night, so I'll follow
we're gonna see it.
Corn, spit or swallow. All right. Triple Crown. I think this is definitely you.
This is me.
Triple Crown of cities you'd add an NFL team to. Bonus points for giving the mascot.
Yes.
I think. For making a mascot. I mean, I like the idea of Portland and Salt Lake City.
Oh, you're taking two off the game.
Wow. Okay, that's not how we play.
Well, fuck off.
What are the mascots?
Well, what are they called when they take multiple wives in Salt Lake?
Mormon?
No.
Polygamy?
Polygamists. The polygamists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Salt Lake polygamists.
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
Just like go all in.
And Portland?
Well, their soccer team is the Timbers, so you can't really go down that path. But maybe like something with like I don't know. I mean, the glaciers. I don't know.
Okay.
There's glaciers up there on Hood, and Oregon's got a lot of, that whole region's got a lot of mountains with glaciers on them.
There you
go. Both are on my list, so I'm just going to tell you my mascots, but they don't count as mine. But for Portland, I had done Maine, so I did the moose as their mascot.
All right.
And then Salt Lake, this one Garrett thought of was the Silver Tips, like with the Whitecap Mountains. Ooh, Salt Lake Silver Tips.
Just the tips, though.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
But to start mine, now I only have 3 left, so this works.
Did I steal anyone's when I said Portland?
Yeah, well, I had Portland, Maine.
Okay, great.
So
So
my
that
first
should count
one,
as one of yours.
No.
We're all doing 2 now. Perfect.
My first one I'll do is a team in Frankfort, Kentucky, and I would make them the Frankfurt Wieners.
Frankfort, Kentucky?
Yeah, the Frankfurt Wieners.
Wow, I like it. That's really off the book, way off the page. I love
Just
it.
flows.
You just doing one? Or
I don't know. Do you want me to do 2?
No. Okay. I'm going to go with, you know what city deserves a football team? I'm going to go with San Diego.
Okay.
I'd probably call them the Chargers.
Okay, great.
Nice.
But yeah, they should have a football team. It fucking sucks that LA is too.
It's gross.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Yeah.
My next one, I am definitely just skewed by the fact that we're going there, but Austin.
That's on my list too. What's
Texas
your mascot?
has too many.
The mascot is the brisket sandwiches.
Okay. I had the Austin Outlaws.
Okay.
So wait.
No, that's not mine.
Okay.
My next one, and now my last one, because all my others keep getting taken, is the Toronto Beavers. I think let's put an NFL team in Canada.
I think they should start making NFL teams in Canada, if anywhere. Yeah. But there are states, and plenty of them, that don't have any teams. Arizona has one in Phoenix. I mean, I'm thinking like Albuquerque or Santa Fe. You know, probably Albuquerque, more of a larger city down there in New Mexico. But I feel like New Mexico deserves one. So what would they be called is the question. What about the Albuquerque, like, I don't know, maybe like Blazes or something like that. Like, because they have a lot of geothermal in the area. Something has to do like geothermal, because just outside of both Santa Fe and Albuquerque are like a lot of hot springs and
geysers.
Yeah, not geysers. That's more like Wyoming.
Okay.
I feel, but or even that's Wyoming. Yeah. No, let's call them the Blazes.
Okay.
If I had to pull a third one out, I would put one in Alaska, just because it would be inconvenient for most people, but fun. And that would be the Alaska Grizzlies.
Well, so there's already a Grizzly in professional sports. Does that matter to you?
No, it just can't be NFL.
All right, Memphis Grizzlies in basketball.
See that dunk, Ja Morant over?
Oh, dude, it didn't count, but I did see it. It was awesome. Incredible. Yeah. It's like asking Muggsy Bogues to go against Yao Ming. That's what it felt like.
For my last one, you know what city deserves a real team? Green Bay. Green Bay, Wisconsin. A real team. I would make them the Green Bay Chuds.
Wow.
So interestingly, you guys chose Texas. Both of you chose Austin. Yes. They already have 2 teams in Austin, in Texas. Can you name all the states that have more than one team?
Oh, okay.
New Jersey.
Yes, me.
Well, that's technically for New York, though.
Yes, no, New York
where
has...
the stadium is.
Stadium's in East
Rutherford. New York. If you want to say New Jersey, the Giants and the Jets play there, so
Correct.
That's 2 teams.
Correct.
But in theory, that would be New York, which has 3 teams because there's the Bills.
Correct.
You have California because you've got the 49ers and you've got the Chargers and you've got the Rams.
Correct.
You've got Texas because you've got the Cowboys and you've got the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Florida because you've got the Bucks and you've got the Jags and you've got the Dolphins.
Good job.
Let's see, are there any others? Let's go in order. You got the Seahawks in Washington.
Pennsylvania has the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm
not letting you take Pennsylvania from me.
Okay, fine. Pennsylvania has the Eagles,
Steelers.
And they've got the Steelers. And then if you go over to Ohio, you've got the Browns and you've got the Bengals.
Good job.
Gotta think faster now because you're gonna cut me off.
I'm not. I promise.
New England's got the Patriots. That's in Massachusetts. They don't have anything else up there. If you go down to D.C. area, you've got the Baltimore Ravens and you've got the Washington football team.
The Washington football team is technically in Virginia, I think.
No, isn't that D.C.?
I'm saying their stadium is in Virginia.
I'm just thinking, would there be any...
It's
the Carolina
DC.
Panthers wouldn't be...
No.
Yeah, I think maybe that's it. Am I missing anything?
I don't believe there's any others offhand. No. No, we're good. I think
I'm having a fun time. Zach's just like, you could stop.
I'm just saying we named them all.
Okay.
So I think we covered. I mean, I can't. Is there another city that deserves one legitimately that you guys can think of?
Canada.
A state or
Toronto.
city. Like, I don't know, because Kansas City's got one.
Are the Titans in Nashville?
Yes. Correct. I mean,
Chicago deserves to.
I mean, they could have. I could
if
see
LA's
it.
got two.
I could see Chicago having two.
Chicago's a way better sports city.
I could see Chicago having two. Yeah. I could. I don't think it's ever going to happen. No. But
I think you could give another to New England. One team for like a whole
absolutely
area.
Not. Absolutely not. There's no need.
Those fans.
There's no need. Atlanta's got one. What about like? I don't think there's any big cities that. Okay, we got one in Cincinnati. We got one in Indianapolis. I guess you could. I guess Kentucky could potentially if you get into.
Cincinnati's pretty much Kentucky, though.
I agree. But no other major cities really that jump off the page.
You could put one in Arkansas. You can extend the Hogs. Have the Razorbacks.
You want to extend the Hogs?
Yeah.
I don't even think you meant to say that the way it just came out, but
nope.
Yeah.
Paulie.
But wait. So which city's bigger? Little Rock or whatever that town is? I forget.
I'd probably put it in Fayetteville just for funsies.
Yeah, Fayetteville. Yeah, it's probably more fun.
Yeah.
Than Little Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think.
Mississippi? No.
Too muggy.
If we're literally just going with cities that deserve a team, it's San Diego for sure.
I agree.
California's got enough teams.
No.
Take one out of LA.
They should. Yeah, exactly.
Just move it south.
They should go back, and Oakland should have continued to have their. They should not be in LA the way they are. Yeah. It's very stupid.
Yeah.
Nobody even cares.
Yeah.
All right, we're out.
Mailbag.
Childish, 5 stars. Ellie Fenn. Unlike through
mailbag.
Oh. Zach was speaking with a lot of confidence on the guys peeing while pooping. As a male human, poo-poo time is is usually also a pee-pee time. Of course, a pee-pee time isn't always a poo-poo time, but in fact, it is pissable for a poo-poo time to just be a poo-poo time. From Horizon.
What about the poop that took a pee? You can pee out your poop.
I need to start paying closer attention, but do you ever not pee when you poo?
I mean, if I've already peed recently, sure. But like generally speaking, if it's like, oh, I gotta go poop, it's like there's probably like 90% chance to maybe 95% chance, maybe even higher, that there's pee coming out the pee while the poop is coming out the A.
Okay, but is the pee coming out the pee while the poop's coming out the A? Or
That's not what I'm arguing.
Is the pee coming out and then the poop, or is the poop coming out?
I did research today.
This is just a follow-up question.
It's poop and then pee.
What? You're going to hold the pee the whole time? By the way, that's not true.
If you've got to poop, they're coming at the same time.
But you wouldn't just hold your pee for the end.
No, I think your prostate is draining after you've released.
I think that is definitely a thing. I don't think it is the thing, though.
Okay. Maybe
Start paying attention. Seriously. Never. I mean, there's definitely a time it's both coming.
I don't know if I've ever had that.
Yes, you have. Guaranteed.
He's really been dying on this hill for months.
I'm telling you, you have pooped and peed at the same time. So have I. Plenty.
It feels like it'd be too much fun.
It is fun. I literally am thinking about it. I'm like, that is fun. Having a real great time down here. Like a fucking water park. Yeah. And
I don't think my body lets me have that much fun. Mm-mm. You can't.
Certainly having 3 children is obvious proof that you couldn't possibly have this much fun.
Done. All right, 5-star review. Childish. This is from Eli Fenn. Unlike thru-hiker's review from December, I don't even know what that's in reference to, I welcome childish and exercise-averse banter. Yes, I'm trying to start Apple Podcast review beef. Do you know what that is in reference to?
No, but I would love to know what exercise-averse banter is.
Apparently somebody left a review that said that we have...
Were they mad that I told Skirka that I wasn't getting a lot of exercise?
I don't know. I have no idea.
They're going to hate the episode where I talk about Apple Watches.
I don't even think we've gotten to that one yet.
That one hasn't aired yet, but by this time it will have.
Yeah.
Are you adamantly against Apple Watches? Is that what's
going
on?
Step trackers, because it gives her...
I obsess.
Yeah, I
get
it.
It's either
I've had periods
of
obsessing as well.
Yeah, so I take it off and I put it in a drawer because otherwise it consumes me.
That's fine. I think that makes sense.
Thank you to Eli. If you guys want to hear your review read in this podcast, head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave us any number of stars.
Just not 1, 2, 3, or 4.
And send us a screenshot of your review and email us at podcast@thetrek.co and we will send you a sticker. We have a few outstanding because currently we are San Sarah and they've just been sitting in my inbox. So if you're listening to this, you're like, I fucking sent a screenshot and I haven't gotten anything. Yeah, it'll just be a little bit. Be patient with us. A super big. Oh wait. Thank you to Topo Athletic. We fucking love these shoes so much. We both use the Pursuits on the Northville Placid Trail. Nothing but the happiest of feet. I've been testing the Terra Ventures. Haven't done much hiking, seeing that it's winter right now, but very comfy, and those come in a wide, so if you've got a fat foot like me. Although I will say I also fit comfortably in the not wide, just the regular models, and they work great. And yeah, they are the most represented brand of trail runners amongst AT thru hikers according to our survey.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Overtook Ultra. The Lone Peak is still the top model, but they had 4 models in the top 8 representing the most used.
Do you think Ultra's spreading themselves too thin in the market now?
I just think most people aren't using things that aren't the Lone Peak and Mas.
Right.
But
I mean, I have not been a Lone Peak thru hiker in many years now.
What are you using?
Timps or Olympus.
I like the Timps. I like the Topos because they feel like when you put your foot in, they feel very much like the Ultras. So it's not like I'm.
They certainly look quite a bit like an Ultra in the shape, and I'm not saying they're ripping them off. That's not what I'm saying. But they do have a lot of similar features, I would say.
The fit feels very similar. When I did the Ozark Highlands Trail, I did it in the Hokas because I wanted to try a different shoe, and that was just such a different feeling that it was horrible for me. But what we have heard and are starting to realize as we're testing them ourselves is these are apparently more durable.
And also
the weave on the upper is a little bit tighter, so your toes aren't going to poke through after 300 or 400 miles like people.
I don't even know if it's the toes that are necessarily the exact culprit. I think like the material on Ultras at the crease point here almost like rubs against itself as it's creasing, and then that's where and then it's tearing at the pinch points against this material right here, whatever this is called here.
So for me with my Ultras, I always get the windows. I get the side blowouts on the inner side of
and
the
I'm sure toes are I don't think abrading is a word, but having abrasions with those areas for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
excited to see, and this is something where I say like we are in the process of testing because I haven't used my Topos for 500 plus miles, but I'm excited to see when I get into that 500 plus range if blowouts come or where something would happen, because I will run my shoes into the ground before getting a new pair.
This idea of like a durable trail runner is like over. It's all about making us buy more. Sucks.
That's why Topo's taking over.
Well, no, I mean that's great. But I mean, is it more than 500 or not?
That's what I can't wait to find out.
We've had reviewers legitimately state that they've gotten like 1,000 miles out of it. Which, by the way, I wouldn't recommend for any shoe because the midsole is going to get condensed down.
Yeah, you can get like internal foot injuries.
You're just not getting the cushion.
I've definitely taken a pair of Brooks Cascadias in my early years to 1,000 miles before, and that was the Brooks Cascadia at one point was the preeminent like trail like thru hiking shoe.
Yeah, for many years.
And then they fucked it up.
Yeah.
I did 900.
And a pair of Brooks?
No, Ultras. I think they were the Timps, but they were full windows on both sides. Right. But I'm the type of person where if I don't need to spend money on something, like if I'm on trail in a town and my feet aren't killing me, I'm not going to drop $100-something bucks on a new pair of shoes. Yeah. So for me, I'm excited about the fact that if they are more durable, then that just enables me to be the way I am more.
So if you guys want to give Topo a shot and you want a discount, use our code TREK-WINTER15 for a 15% discount. The shoes are legitimately awesome.
Are they an East Coast brand? Where are they?
I think Massachusetts, if memory serves. I don't remember exactly. A super big thank you to our Chuck Norris Award winners on Patreon. That is Alex and Misty with Navigators Crafting, Alex Kindle, Andrew, Austin McDaniel, Brad and Blair from 13 Adventures, Brent Stenberg, Brian Alsop,
Fabos,
Christopher Marshburn, Coach from Marion Outdoors, Derek Cook, Eric Casper,
The Friendly Ghost,
Eric Hoffman, Jillian Daniels, Greg Knight, Greg Martin, Greg McDaniel, Griffin, hey, would you bring me a beer? Haley Buckingham,
Palace,
Liz Seeger, Mud Tom, Patrick Ciancialo, Rebecca Brave, Sawyer Products, Spam, Timothy Hahn,
Solo,
and Tracy Trigger. Thank you to Paulie, our guy at Old Man Murph's Coffee Roasters. Go to ommcr.com. Get yourself some delicious beans. You can follow us on social. Viking, what's your social?
At the Real Hiking Viking.
Are you posting nowadays?
I'm about to respin it up.
Yeah.
I've taken that whole winter hiatus.
Yeah, you hibernate.
I hibernate a little after. Yeah.
You can follow us at Backpacker Radio on TikTok.
Question
no
right
way.
there.
It's dead, right?
I downloaded Red Note. I know we talked about this last time.
How is that?
Funny as fucking. It's an actual Chinese app. So all of Gen Z that's pissed off that TikTok is going away
Note,
has made Red Note this legitimately Chinese. The icon is Chinese characters.
Sure.
The whole text in the App
means.
Store, but they've made it the #1 most downloaded app this week. And it's
a cool
fucking
place to
funny
be right
on
now
there.
for all the hip kids.
It's funny on there. So I downloaded it. I'm having some laughs. I don't think it's going to last in terms of, I think it's just like a nice fun fad, but it's funny. I highly recommend to anyone who doesn't care.
I mean, Zuckerberg's really starting to get cool now, though, right?
Did you see his hair?
He looks awesome. Has
he changed
He's
something
Drake's
again?
Molly dealer.
I think Topo's is in Massachusetts.
Okay. Yeah.
So
What did I say?
You said Massachusetts, and I said East Coast, and we're all right. We're all correct.
At Backpacker Radio on Instagram, at Backpacker Pod on X, Facebook.com/Backpacker Radio. You can follow Chance.
you can find me on Instagram at Juliana_Chauncey and on YouTube at Juliana Chauncey. And you can get my book Hiking from Home, a long distance hiking guide for family and friends, on Amazon.
Appalachian Trials and Pacific Crest Trials are my books. Head on over to Amazon and leave us both reviews.
Yes, please.
Big stars.
I'll do
Big
it right
stars.
now.
Find a way to give us 19 stars.
Yes,
if you can.
all the stars.
Yeah. Subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on YouTube.
Hi, Internet.
You got multiple angles today, YouTube. You're welcome.
Yes.
And that is it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening, and happy hiking.
Bye.